for the sports animal, your afternoon drive. Number 2, men on, Van Nunley and Fred Slow. And in the on-deck circle, Amory Castillo.
This is Two Men On with Van Nunley and Fred Slow.
Mike's hot.
It's Tuesday, Albuquerque. You know what that means? Well, that means the United States of America watched the RNC 2-1 versus the Home Run Derby last night. It was not the one last night. It was not the Home Run Derby of the century last night.
Oh, the ending was fantastic. Bobby Witt Jr. with 1 out left, able to tie or go ahead. It was just about as exciting as you could have drawn it out.
He came up
without Shohei Ohtani, without Aaron Judge, without Juan Soto, without Ron Acuna Jr., without,
They should do invitees like the way Max McClung gets to go to, or Matt McClure, what's his name?
Sure, yeah.
Speaking of Max Machado joining us on the program. Let's go.
Thank you.
Owner of Dirty's Golf Shop. You can find that at, what's the address?
1439 San Mateo Boulevard, Northeast.
There you go, where we are doing the program all day long today. Or you can catch him every Saturday morning as the co-host to one Van Nunley on your golf-centric program on the weekend.
That is right, baby. 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. every Saturday morning right here on 95.9 FM, AM 610, The Sports Animal. Dirty Boys present Fill in the Holes.
God, you're on radio 6 days a week here?
Yeah.
That sucks for here.
Oh, man. I've got nothing but overwhelming support for the new program.
God, I hate
They're
it.
already asking me to do a Sunday show, too.
Who is they?
All of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Isaiah Johnson back in the studio. Isaiah, how are you?
Doing wonderful. How about you?
I'm okay. I just want to ask you how bad you feel about roasting the national anthem yesterday, knowing what you know now.
No, I didn't roast it at all. But
Oh, I did.
I think there's some, what's the right word? Proactive actions that could have been taken
Like
on her end.
like anyone else.
Yeah, like there were 40,000 people there watching the Home Run Derby. One of them could have sang.
there had to be
One person could have sang.
There had to be some aspiring SoundCloud rapper in the stands
Yeah.
that could have stepped in for Ingrid, and who today on social media said, quote, I'm not, as close to a quote as I can get. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Quote, I'm not going to BS. She didn't say BS.
No, she did not.
Y'all, I was drunk last night. I'm checking myself into a facility.
So, like, I don't understand how before singing the national anthem, you can allow yourself to get lit. I mean, unless she had, like, let's say when she was practicing for the past few weeks, months, she was drinking a lot while she was practicing and she was still killing it. So maybe she's like, oh, I know I can do this drunk because I've done it before. And then when the real nerves kicked in, she couldn't. Like that's the only out I can see here.
I believe the philosophers Method Man and Red Man told us the playbook. Study high, take the test high, get real high scores. I don't think that works for a lot of alcohol.
Well, and even with even with Isaiah's advice here,
Mhm.
Hemingway said, write drunk, edit sober.
Sure.
Like go ahead and practice as drunk as you want to be,
Yeah.
but do the work. Also, as a guy who entertains for a living and also drinks for a hobby, do the work first.
Sure.
Like go do work and then function afterwards, and then hide your actual problem, like I have done all these years, Max.
Correct. Also, we're
hide it well.
professionals. I'm speaking for myself and Fred, not you, Max. We can have a couple oat sodas and function very highly at this employment here, but we don't get bleep house hammered and try to do this job. We would do it quite poorly. And again, let me say, the throes of addiction, mental illness, you're not in control of yourself.
Nope, very real.
So, I mean, if she really got it like she's describing, this is a very real moment for her, and it's a dark moment. And hopefully when she walked off that stage, she was surrounded that
She
people
wasn't even on the stage. She was
loved
just on the
her
grass
and cared about her.
They didn't even build her a stage.
I mean, when you perform that awfully, when you embarrass yourself that bad, the whole world's a stage.
I already
my
know.
friend.
Here's how it's going to get healed. I already know how it's going to get healed. The Black Eyed Peas are going to go on tour. Fergie is going to bring her out. She's going to perform. Everyone's going to forgive. That's the answer here.
I mean, she made Fergie's rendition look fantastic.
Oh my God. It's a top time, all bad time.
I think it's the worst.
Yeah, that was worse.
It's
Fergie.
the worst.
It's the worst.
It's the worst.
Fergie, it was her vocals were off. This girl tried to remix the whole national anthem as if she was in the shower.
Hammered.
She tried to chop and Dirty's golf shop it.
Sure.
That was not the one.
That one's too dirty for Dirty's golf shop.
Thank you for comparing our story to that. That was
The memes, the ones.
Oh man,
so many memes with Donald Trump's bloody ear after listening to this.
Yeah,
like just too many memes.
It was all of them.
So we're
absolutely all of them.
We're live at Dirty's. We're doing that thing today. We're going to talk a lot about Major League Baseball All-Star Game. We're going to talk a lot about this big soccer event that happened yesterday or over the weekend, because I guess now the Dolphins have to remodel the entire stadium. It was ruined so significantly. Did you see this?
Yes, I did.
This is a plant.
They need a whole ventilation system. People were crawling through the air vents like Bruce Willis in Die Hard.
Finally, Gloria Estefan's going to get the building she always wanted. Also, I don't know if that's who's in the ownership group, but that was close.
I think you're correct. I think you're actually correct.
Mark Anthony in it, I think?
Mark Anthony and Gloria Estefan?
Yeah.
And, A-Rod's got a piece of the Marlins. Is that correct? I think A-Rod's got a piece of the Marlins.
How does he broadcast for the Yankees?
Oh, it don't matter.
Oh.
Yeah.
The Dolphins, how is there? Have you guys been to their stadium?
Have not been to that one.
I wonder, they may be due for
well, it's like the worst
an upgrade. Really?
Yeah, it's
worse
like,
than Soldier.
Yeah, but Soldier's been upgraded a bunch of times. This one is
okay.
like the thing you always hear is how they have it set up to where during noon games the opposing team sideline is 20 degrees hotter than the home team.
So smart.
And the NFL was smart. They're like, well, we would never let this happen now.
Yeah.
Yes, when we were idiots years ago, you got one over on us. So they've been doing everything in their power to not, affect that or whatever, make that move.
The difference in between Soldier Field and Hard Rock is what you're getting into with Soldier Field. It's so old and crappy. It's part of the mystique. They try to pass off Hard Rock as nice, and it got exposed real hard.
I'm looking at the pictures here. They've got a pool up in the top corner. You can be in the water when you watch the game. Miami vibes. Okay. But it does have it looks like a really, really nice old building.
Well, heads up, a bunch of South American soccer fans just peed in that pool. So, no.
Sure.
There's chlorine. It's fine.
Hey, that's football fan thinks they're fanatic. They think they're wild because they jumped through a folding table one time in Buffalo.
Yeah.
They think they're wild.
Raider fan.
Yeah.
Because you paint your face. You're not tough.
Yeah, you're crazy. You're crazy, guy. Hey, look how fast I can strip down naked and climb up this greased pole. Are we still talking about football fan?
Yeah.
Because You're nothing.
You're nothing.
You football fan, you are not even a fan. Look at South American soccer fans.
Thousands of people broke into a stadium because they weren't able to get /or afford tickets. And they're like, we'll take this upon ourselves to get in.
What Discord server are they on where they playing this? Like, are they all just over the new NCAA football, college football 25, talking about how they're going to come up? No, that game wasn't out yet.
Yeah.
Like, they're doing FIFA. They're playing the
Sure.
FIFA, and they're like, well, what if we? I mean, they can't stop us all, right? Also, not to be those guys, the security there, they don't know the difference between them.
Yeah. Who are you going to tell has a ticket or not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who are you chasing after? Who are you detaining? How do you know?
Walk by? Didn't I just see you? No.
Sure.
No, you didn't.
This is South America's January 6th moment.
They got him.
But instead of the government, they did it to soccer.
And Hard Rock knew it was coming, and they were like, listen, take out a little bit extra insurance. We got a whole vision.
Yeah.
They were like, lost ticket sales revenue? We don't care. We're getting it on the back end. It's coming our way.
We get it all back.
Also, it's not Hard Rock, but you know what I mean.
Sure.
Like whoever it is. Black Rock.
Yeah, whoever owns Hard Rock.
Yeah.
Whoever owns Hard Rock, who owns them.
If
Probably Warren Buffett.
Yeah, that's
somehow.
where I was going.
It's probably Warren Buffett somehow.
Who do I think owns Hard Rock? Hard Rock?
Not Sylvester Stallone anymore.
I bet it's PepsiCo.
It's a great guess.
All right, hold on, do a little bit of.
I think it's some kind of venture capital company, like some kind of ownership group who owns a bunch of weird stuff. Also owns Hard Rock.
So here we go. It's the Seminoles.
Yep, Seminole Tribe of Florida.
Yeah. Really?
That's what I'm sitting here staring at. I'm like, let me get a
2007. They bought it.
That is awesome. Good for them.
Mm-hmm. Whatever that means. The Hard Rock Stadium is
means
owned by
they don't
Stephen Ross.
They don't get taxed the same. That's what it means.
Also, is there a casino in there? Because there should be if there's not.
Probably.
Yeah, I wouldn't have came up with that. I also think Hard Rock started in London. So, like, goodbye. Like that's getting them back.
Oh, okay. One step at a time.
Yeah,
one step at a time.
Also, I think Florida was heavy Spain, though. So it's not even really like London would have been the original 1-1.
Right. Don't go to the blanket giveaway game.
No, don't go to that's not the one.
Don't go to that one. Please don't go to that one.
So there you go. It is they're gonna get redone. That's gonna be the thing.
I hope all these people, like, if you're like some millionaire, billionaire, whatever, and you're losing $5,000 on a ticket, like they're not even gonna blink. But there's people who saved up. There's Argentinian soccer fans who saved up all year to go to this one match if their team made it. And they're going to lose out on that $5,000 or $10,000, whatever insane amount of money they ended up paying for a ticket. And then somebody with a little more gumption, with a little more chutzpah, jumps the fence in front of you and you don't get in. That is wild.
It's a common thing. It happens a lot. It actually... Over in Europe, it happens a lot too. Like in other, I don't know if it's like maybe in other countries they just rush more because they have less of a worry of the consequences by the enforcers, the law enforcers there. But they tend to like hop gates and and rush stages and get in free.
I mean, the difference there is they're used to it. They're prepared for it. These soft ass Dolphin fans never do that. They're unaccustomed to this kind of behavior.
Final thought as we wrap up segment 1 on the national anthem yesterday. The anthem tonight will be sung by a guy named Cody Johnson. I'm not overly familiar with him or her because I guess Cody is unisex. So them, I'm not overly familiar with them. But no matter what, this will sound like the best national anthem you've ever heard.
This is going to sound like Whitney Houston compared to last night.
Yeah, we are going to have a conversation about how it is the best one of all time tonight.
He probably feels massive amount of pressure, though, you'd imagine, right? Just like way in the back of his mind.
No, the opposite. There is no pressure now. But there is no pressure whatsoever on this human being.
No, this is like when you're playing like like golf with like, I don't know, a child and they hit a really bad shot before you. You don't feel more pressure to hit a good shot. Like you're just going to do your thing. We're stepping away so we can come back. I do at length want to talk about the incredibly poor ratings for the home run derby last night. No one in the country was interested at all. We'll go into that. Also, we'll talk about my big winnings in the world of prize picks because I called it.
You did.
I'm the man. everything I touch turns to gold in the world of Prize Picks. I think I'm the all-time leader in money earned versus money invested. Could not be more impressed with my Prize Pick Ackerman.
I think I got you. But the difference is how much money you pulled out versus how much I did.
I've pulled out so much and I've put in none.
Sure.
Like, it has not been fair to Prize Picks that they become a partner of this program. Whenever we get back, we're live at Dirty's Golf Shop, 1439 San Mateo. Come hang out with your boys. The shop is open. Come see Max and he'll swag you out.
Mhm.
Also, if you mention that you know Van Nunley, he will charge you an extra 10%.
Oh, hey, hold on.
What?
It's a good deal.
Yes. Max was away all for a segment because like a customer came in
It'll happen again.
and he comes back over and he goes, nice. Got it. 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. We're all. Welcome back to 2 Men On right here on the Sports Animal. Thank you for taking the time with us the way you do every single day of the week. Also on Saturdays, you can catch Phil in the Holes with Van Nunley, Max Machado. Max is with us right now. Max, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thanks for being here, hanging out at the shop
It's
today.
just nice. You have the coolest spot. We're going to talk at length about what's going on here at Dirty's Golf Shop as well. I'm never going to be good at golf, but I'm going to look good at golf.
That's
Oh,
right.
hell yeah.
That's my thing. I'm going to look the part.
It's
Me-
easy to do here.
Me and Van went golfing the other day, and he wore all Dirty's gear, and I didn't have any Dirty's gear. And I'm not going to say I was mad, but I'm going to say I noticed. I'm going to say that I was aware.
The world noticed. I stood out.
Yeah, you were better than others.
It was clean.
Not at golf, but
And I-
looking better than.
And I churched it up. I didn't go full dirties. I churched it up a little
Nice.
bit because we were at a country club. So I couldn't go full dirty.
It's okay.
I went like half dirty.
You know, a smudge,
It's just a little smidgen.
smudging.
Splash of. You said I'm a splash of dirty.
There
Mhm.
you go. I like that.
People did not tune in last night for Teoscar Hernandez.
It's a bummer. It's one of my favorite events of the year in all of sports. I never miss it. I love the home run derby. I'm on the edge of my seat the whole time, and it did not disappoint. If you're a baseball fan or sports fan, it was a good one. but Golden Ear 007 kind of stole all the thunder.
It is the lowest viewed one in 10 years.
It's a bummer because they got the format right. The format has never been better than it is now.
5.1 million. That's a rough estimate. It's a million less people than last year. And it was approximately 4 million less people than watched the RNC.
In baseball fans' defense,
Okay.
in sports fans' defense, we just witnessed a historical moment in the history of the country on Saturday. And his first time being in front of a camera since then went up against the All-Star game. I understand.
I was going to go there with it. I was going to say, I mean, I was just going to blame the election in general, but that as well.
5.45. I apologize. I think you're right. You too. Also, Monday Night Raw was at an all-year low as well. So
Yeah.
anything live
Anything.
was not doing that thing against the RNC last night. We saw Donald Trump come out last night. His ear looked.
How do we know what it looks like? We couldn't see it.
It looked
because
like
there was a pillowcase on it.
It was gigantic. It was the biggest thing I ever saw. That was like when Uhura used to work comms for the original Star Trek. I think it was gigantic.
He played golf the day before too, or that
the
morning,
day after. Yeah,
he wasn't bandaged like that, so it was hurting the golf swing, but not the optics for the RNC.
They probably re-injured it during golf, I'm assuming.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It looked like an insert for like an adult diaper.
Like that. You're not far off.
It was gigantic.
I don't know if anyone here has worked in restaurants, but it looks like the industrial-sized tea bags that you make a whole pitcher of tea with at the same time. It's like, I was like, oh, I've seen one of those. His doctor must have worked in a restaurant.
It looked like all those bandages from the Normandy D-Day scene in Saving Private Ryan that guys are just pulling out regularly for like on the beach of Normandy.
There was a 80s slapstick comedy element to that bandage for sure. That's like something that Leslie Nielsen has worn.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about hair and makeup and bandages. I assume it's the same department. But if you're in the back and you're like, no, I think this looks pretty good.
Right.
It did not look good.
No.
He would have been better off getting a Make America Great Again hat and then putting a single like floppy ear over one side, like a Major League Baseball like batter's helmet.
One side batter's helmet.
Side batter's helmet. That would have been a better look.
What about a beanie? Just a red beanie.
That would have been good too.
MAGA beanie. Yes.
Or what if he'd gone with like a Norteño like bandana tied around his head like Michael Scott in The Office.
Yeah, flip it around, put the bow in front like Tupac.
Like I think that would have been a good look.
Sure.
Yeah, like who made the American flag? Betsy Ross. Like a hair up like 18th century like
a proper bonnet.
Yeah, proper bonnet.
Yeah, like a nice
that would
bonnet.
have been a cooler look.
Yeah.
The thing he had was that thing was rough.
Extraneous.
Yeah.
I might use a little hyperbolic.
It would have been a good bit, like you're saying, if it just got bigger every time.
Yeah.
You know, like every time he has another public appearance, if it just gets a little bit bigger.
Do you remember Bernie Sanders' mittens from a couple of years ago?
Yes, I do.
It's like that. Like it's going to be that iconic. You and I were workshopping ways to do that for a Halloween costume.
Correct.
And the best we could come up with, Max, was I go as Donald Trump and Van goes as the bandage connected to my head.
Yeah.
There was a lot to that.
I mean, there's going to be copycat bandages all across this country now. Like, let's not think that that's going to be a thing. That is 100% like
the RNC is going to wear it like Nelly's
exactly
like Band-Aid on his cheek.
Yeah, like the bandana for City Spud to get out of jail. Red hats are going to have giant bandanas on their ears, even though they don't need them.
The Derby still drew more than NBA All-Star Skills events, so that was a big deal to that. Also, the NBA just doesn't draw on live. The NBA is made for like TikTok videos,
right?
You're never going to get it. But yeah, there you go for the home run derby. It was down 11% from last year, lowest in 10 years. Yeah, no one was watching. I think there's a handful of reasons. Lack of big names.
Yeah. I mean, just the Dodgers jersey alone isn't going to do it. Shohei Ohtani in a Dodgers jersey would have flipped the script. Also, I bet there's a lot of people who had whatever medium is measurable, whether it's their television or, you know, how they extrapolate the viewership numbers. I bet a lot of people are watching on their phone or their laptop or their tablet too.
They count all that now.
Yeah.
That all counts. It's not just like, you know, OTA. You know, it's like they get you.
I mean, obviously, we were at our friends at Rio Bravo Brewing watch it, and they had both on.
Sort of.
Mm-hmm.
They had, so we're at Rio Bravo Brewery last night, Max, and we're watching the home run derby. Then the RNC comes on, and we just start cooking it like the whole time. And everyone in the building is like, can we just change the channel?
Yeah.
Like, these guys won't stop cooking the RNC.
We were live tweeting it, but with our mouths.
And I had just won hundreds of dollars on the prize picks. So I was like, oh, I'm going to carry this energy into roasting this RNC. I'm like, why is Amber Rose up here?
Mm-hmm.
Of all the people.
Sure.
You could pick any person. That's who you pick.
Did somebody tell Amber Rose that the new Republican VP played basketball? Like, why was she there?
That's what is the deal.
Why was she there? JD Vance is neither a basketball player or a rapper, Amber Rose. What are you doing here?
Figure it out. The Major League Baseball All-Star Game is tonight. We'll talk about that when we get back from the break. Does it still have the zing that it had when we were kids? I think not. I'll tell you why that. Also, later in this program, we're going to talk about how, and this is all conjecture on my part, but how the middle of the season is no longer the middle of the season with the extra playoff teams.
Right.
We already missed everything. And with the way Major League Baseball can't trade draft picks and kind of all that stuff, I think there's going to be no action at the trade deadline. We're going to talk Major League Baseball after the break. It's 2 Men On live from Dirty's Golf Shop. Don't forget at 5 o'clock, we're having a little bit of golf talk, so that's going to be fun. What's going on this weekend? Is there a big one?
It's a big one all across the pond.
The Open.
Is that the one where they don't cut the grass?
Basically. Yeah.
It's a whole.
There's like one little strip right down the middle. Everything else is very thick.
That's how Max likes it.
Yeah.
2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
This is 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Mike's hot.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Men On, live from Dirty's Golf Shop. All-Star game is tonight. You boys going to watch?
Yeah, we're going to turn it on.
We'll be watching the first hour here live on air.
That'd be sweet.
We're going to watch Paul Skeen strike out the side right here, right live on air.
Is he going to hit a hundo
100% he will.
on the gun?
Mm-hmm.
101?
That's questionable.
101.5?
That one's questionable. I think 101 for sure. The 101, the 0.5 is the tricky one. And I think I know why you're asking.
Just wondering.
Because that is a more or less on Prize Picks today.
I just needed to know, like
he'll hit 100 like almost every fastball. He hits 101 pretty regularly. That 101 and a half. He's no Mason Miller, closer for the A's. That's your 102 guy.
The St. Louis Cardinals have but one All-Star, Ryan Helsley. I'm wearing my Cardinals jersey, boys.
Congratulations.
I'm going to watch the game tonight. I'm going to go over to Josh Shans. The All-Star game is best enjoyed with friends.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there's no reason to enjoy it by yourself anymore. That's what I'm trying to get to. With the interleague play is every week of the season now. It just doesn't matter. Some of these historic pitching and batting matchups that we enjoyed so very much as kids, we see so very regularly now.
Right.
It's kind of lost its all everything.
Right.
It doesn't matter for home field advantage in the World Series anymore, which, by the way, I loved when that was happening. I thought that was
hard disagree.
The coolest.
Yeah, hard disagree.
You're going to get.
I don't think a entertainment competition in the middle of the season should give the winner an extra game in the World Series.
Made me watch it. Super down.
I'm going to watch it no matter what because I'm a baseball dork. I love seeing the best of the best compete with each other.
Paul Skeens is going to throw exactly one inning. That will be it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you will go through every pitcher that you can go through to get through the game healthy. That is the big thing. I expect it to be hitters galore, though. I think after Skeens and Corbin, that'll just be lob balls all night long. I don't really think it's going to matter.
So less than 15 and a half pitches for Skeens. Just
more
than 15 pitches.
Yeah, more. Because guys are going to get on against him.
Okay, you guys sound both definitive about that one.
Yeah, well, because I think he's a dude in the NL Central against the Reds and the Cubs and the Cardinals.
So he's a fraud, you're saying. So he's a fraud.
Oh,
No. But I'm talking about all-star hitters.
Yeah.
Like every dude he's against is the best dude that's currently doing it.
Yeah. In the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah.
He will be going up against Gunnar Henderson, who's arguably the best player in baseball this year, Aaron Judge, who is arguably the best player in baseball this year, and Juan Soto, who is arguably the best player in baseball.
And the number was the number
Nope,
you gave
not this year in baseball period.
Was the number you gave 16 and a half?
15 and a half.
Oh, so that's looking at 16 total, which is 4 pitches if a guy gets on per batter.
Right.
I'm telling you, a guy's going to get on. Like he's
okay.
Yeah, and they're going to let him go 3 out. So he's going to face 4, maybe 5, and then his night will be done. So I would take the over. The more is what I meant to say.
Yes.
But we'll do that when we do Prize Picks.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm going to watch with friends because it's a fun thing. I'm not watching because I'm interested.
I watch every year. I enjoy it every year. I mean, as a baseball dork, this is something that I've loved my entire life. When I was a kid, like the game used to be on too late sometimes. I would record it on VHS and watch it over and over again and emulate the All-Stars swings and the All-Star pitchers wind-ups. Like it was a huge deal for a baseball dork, and I still think it is. But the problem is NFL is king and basketball's probably second, and here comes soccer creeping up for baseball. Like it's not what it used to be.
So quick question. The end of the game, it's 1 run. How much do the players care about winning? Is there like pride on the line?
0. They care 0.
Hard disagree. You want to win every time you go out there.
Is there a bonus? Do they get a bonus?
You want to be the hero who wins the All-Star game. You want to do it in your team's hat. Like it's a big deal.
Gunnar Henderson already did his Scooby-Doo impersonation on the MLB Network or ESPN or whichever one it was. His moment's over. He doesn't care if they win. He won't even be in the ninth inning. They'll take him out.
Well, he'll get 2 at bats and they'll yank him for whoever got voted second most at his position, which is Bobby Witt Jr., I believe.
Bobby Witt Jr., who just missed a home run
by 8
in his
feet.
final swing.
Yeah.
Max, did you watch the home run derby last night?
No, I didn't.
You know what? You're in the majority.
Have you ever seen one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I was also going to ask you about the All-Star game gear this year.
It's
We have
the-
good gear. That's kind of how I judge an All-Star game.
But I'm telling you, my nostalgia says I want every player in their home team whites or their away team grays, and I
Same.
want them to all be on the field at the same time. And they could wear these jerseys you're talking about during warm-ups, but not during the game. I hate it so much.
I agree completely. And Bryce Harper is in this camp too. Because like me, a baseball dork, you saw this growing up. Like you're in your team's jersey, whether you're home or away, it's the one you actually wore. And it's so cool seeing your team represented on the field at the All-Star game. I love the hats this year. You got to check out the hats, Max. They're dope. The hats are legit dope this year. But the jerseys are awful. You should be wearing your team colors. It's dumb. Time to move on.
A couple of years ago, the ones they're doing this year, they're like, I don't know, what tan and orange, I guess. It's not even orange. Peach, tan and peach, and then blue and black. And I don't love it. Like, I think it's kind of lame, but I'll say this. A couple of years ago, they did where everyone was gray.
Yeah.
But it was your team's jersey, but in like a gray colorway and gold, or it was a white colorway and gold, and it sucked too.
Yeah.
So it's like, just go out there, put like a Cubs jersey in white and a Cardinals jersey in white and a Braves jersey in white, and they are out there in the field. I'm like, that looks cool to me.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. I mean, this is just Spaceballs 2, the search for more money stuff going on here. Like, you have to have new jerseys to milk a little bit more jersey sales and merch sales, even though I'm assuming baseball fan is in my corner, is in your corner, is in Bryce Harper's corner, that you should represent your team colors when you're out there on that big stage with all the other All-Stars.
They should do like gold thread it or something, right? Like some little detail that makes it an All-Star. They could still make a version.
Yeah.
$175 for this piece of junk on Shop MLB?
Yeah, and it's Fanatics.
Fanatics.
Yeah.
Oh, miss me.
I wouldn't even order one on Wish. That's how bad they are this year.
The gold thing you're talking about, I'm really into. I always thought they should do that for the team the year after they win the World Series. Like
they do.
Oh, that's right.
They literally do. Yeah. But I like the spirit of Max's suggestion that you can just alter the jersey a little bit, whether it be a patch or like a different, like the stitching is the whoever hosts it. Like everybody has like a little bit of red and blue for the Texas Rangers this year because they're hosting it. Like infuse their colors into it a little bit, but there's something there where you can make the jersey different and merchandisable and sellable and still like represent the team colors.
Forget it. Just get a new era cowboy hat that they all wear while they're out there, and it's done. Like that's
sweet too.
That would be dope.
No, I am into that.
Can you imagine a guy catching one in the outfield, pulling off the 10 gallon?
Yes, I can imagine that, and I love it.
It's a moment right there.
If anybody watched it though, that's the thing.
Yeah, who's gonna
see it happen?
Who's gonna catch that?
Me and white dudes over 55.
Yeah,
that's it.
10-gallon hat, brother. Looking pretty good. The nostalgia, it's gone for me, boys. Like I don't know if I would turn it on. Like it's boring.
I'd watch it every year. I love it, especially with Paul Skeens being a rookie.
Then you'll have to watch 20 minutes then. So that's nice.
Well, then I got to watch and see whenever Mason Miller comes in because he's another rookie that can throw 100. I want to see him go up against 3 All-Stars in a row.
The way that it'll get presented tonight too, there'll be a commercial break. Every commercial break will be that much longer. You know, when they come back, they'll be like, and now a special message for this organization against this disease, or now our friends.
They'll have the stand up to cancer moment. They always do.
They'll also have this one. They'll have this motor company wants to pledge against this disease. Like, you get what I'm saying. Like there's it's not about the baseball game. It's about the spectacle. That's how I felt for those fans in attendance last night too, because you're just standing there watching a dude throw bullpen. Unless you're sitting in like 5 different seats in the stadium, Like, why go to the home run derby?
You're somewhere for mostly right-handed batters. You're inside the foul line in the outfield in between left and left center. Yeah, sure.
Do they still let little kids catch the foul balls?
Yeah, but I don't think it's like as altruistic as it used to be. Now, my understanding is it's like if you're a kid of like a staff member at the stadium, you get a chance to be out there.
Yeah.
But it's not like they go to the Boys and Girls Club. And
right.
Like,
it's not like a little league.
Sure.
Team
Yeah.
that
Bronny was out there last night.
what did
It's like Messi having Kanye's kids out there, walking them out with him.
Oh, did he do that?
Yeah, Kim's
awesome.
Kim's kid, Kanye's kid. Yeah,
Their
Messi's
kid,
walked.
their-
Yeah, their kid. Messi's walked out with them plenty of times.
Is Messi dating Kim Kardashian now?
No, he's not. Messi is
just
married.
raising his kids.
Oh, that's it. I mean, be the person you needed when you were younger.
Oh yeah, there's that.
That's about
Mhm.
that's the message.
Take a little deep turn for it. Huh?
Yeah.
Our MLB All-Star Prize Picks. Whenever we get back after the break, don't forget, if you are playing Prize Picks with us, play it with promo code KNML. We will match your initial deposit up to $100 for Fundo, and you can pick with us. Usually, I'm filled with hyperbole and I over-exaggerate everything in the world. And
Really?
the good thing I claim is the best thing ever, and the bad thing I claim is the worst thing ever. But there's no hyperbole here. I am absolutely the best Prize Picks player of all time.
You're crushing it, dude.
Take my picks.
I will second
become
that.
a winner with me. It is 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
This
Welcome back to the program. 2 Men On, live from Dirty's Golf Shop, 1439 San Mateo Boulevard. You might not be good at golf, but you can look good at golf. Come down to Dirty's, catch some of the drip. All right, I got a Prize Picks set. Keep in mind, if you're playing Prize Picks with us, use promo code KNML. You put in our promo code, we will match you up to $100 for Fundo. Yeah, baby. With your initial deposit. Here's what I got going tonight, boys.
Hit me with it.
Okay. It's primarily pitcher-based in the All-Star game. But pull out your Prize Picks right now if you're playing right now because you got 10 minutes. Sabrina Ionescu. Have you heard of this gal?
Ionescu.
So she plays for the Liberty.
Yeah.
She is sitting at 14.5 points.
She's today's taco.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not a taco one, though, because it doesn't have the bad percent that the taco gives you. So this is just a lowered one.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't affect your overall one. So this isn't even better than taco.
I'm in.
So she averages like 23 a game or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it's 14.5 right now. So take the more on her, as I expect her to have a big game tonight, and then jump over to the All-Star games. And I'm taking Corbin Burns less than 1.0 strikeouts.
Ooh.
So if he hits one, it's going to be a wash.
Little splitty boy.
Playing safe there.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't get one, good. I also am taking a couple combos here, guys.
Okay.
So Tariq Skubal and Cole Reagans, I have less than 2.5 strikeouts combined. Garrett Crotchet and Max Fried, I have less than 2.5 pitcher strikeouts combined. Tanner Hoke and Paul Skeens, I have less than 2.5 strikeouts combined. And then Vladimir Guerrero, I have more than 0.5 hits, runs, and ribbies. Boys.
Ah, I like that one a lot.
Yeah. So I am playing the idea that Vlad will get a hit. He will get pulled from the game. And I'm playing the idea that none of these pitchers will pitch long enough to amass these numbers. I think it's going to be a hitter's night as well. So give me all of these fun numbers with Sabrina going more than 14.5 in my lineup.
I think there'll be more strikeouts than you're assuming, but what can I say to you? You're the king of this thing the last few weeks.
Even if they all
don't listen to me ever again.
Even if they all get one strikeout, I'm good.
Yeah. Or they get two. Or you talking about one a pop.
One a pop.
Yeah.
So I think I could be in a good way here. So this is where I'm currently sitting, boys. What do you guys like? I'm going to follow you.
I was going to ask you to recap for me.
I got you. Sabrina, I'm going to share my lineup with you too.
Okay.
So Sabrina, more than 14.5.
Got that one.
Okay. So then Corbin Burns, less than 1.0 pitcher strikeouts. The 0.5 is a big deal there, Max.
Mm-hmm.
Not there. Could be safe if he gets one. Skubal and Reagans, less than 2.5 pitcher strikeouts on the combo.
Skubal strikes out everyone, but Reagan's not so much. So that's a good combo.
I don't expect anyone to see more than 3 batters. Maybe Skeens. I don't expect anyone else to see more than 3 batters. Crotchet and Fried, less than 2.5 strikeouts. Hoke and Skeens, less than 2.5, which if I am worried, that's the one I'm slightly worried about. But Skeens is in early, so I'll know.
Yep.
Vlad Guerrero Jr., more than 0.5 hit, runs, and ribbies. Also, if you like that, you have about 7 minutes to do it.
Get in.
That's when Sabrina goes away. Van, what are you looking at tonight?
Well, I am on the Sabrina Ionescu bandwagon because it's today's taco, a little discounted projection. I got her more than 14.5 points.
Okay.
And I didn't mess with the All-Star game. I'm keeping it in the WNBA.
Oh, risky.
I think Chicago is going to have a really tough time with Vegas. So I got less than 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists for Chinedidididididi Carter.
So it's funny you said that because I was looking at her for less than 19 points.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to have a good game.
All right, I will. Yeah, I will ride with you.
And then I also have less than 35 points fantasy score for Angel Reese. Vegas is one of the best teams, and they have a good defense, and they're going to stifle Chicago. So I paired Sabrina Ionescu with Chinedi Carter and Angel Reese, both unders. Sabrina Ionescu points over.
How do you feel about Asia Wilson, though? Because 55.5 fantasy score is very high.
It's very high, but she has been absolutely crushing it. I look at her projections every time.
I think I want to go more on her. She's just so good.
She is so good.
I'm going to go more on her. So I'm playing 4 of them. Caitlin Clark's 43 fantasy score.
She's getting the hang of it, but she's also a little. She's like hit, miss. Hit, miss.
Also, I really like going against Chinedadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadadad.
All right. Well, see, if I'm playing 4, I might as well play 6, boys.
Just take it to the house, baby.
You know how it is. I mean, I'm not trying to be that guy.
Also, I like Alyssa Thomas from Connect to It to have less than 27.5 points, rebounds, assists.
All right, dang it. So Paul Skeens is no longer on the fastest pitch thing.
Yeah, I didn't see him when we were talking about it.
All right, so he's come off of there because I wanted to take that for sure. Do you think anyone's going to try to show him up like Mason Miller? I don't think he's going to go more than 102.9. That'd be 103.
9?
Yeah.
That's wild.
So I'm going to go less on him.
Okay.
Do you think it's more?
It depends on how they got their...
Because they're going to cook the gun.
Yeah, they're going to cook the gun for today. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, he hits 102 almost every game.
So I'm going to go more.
102.9. That's bonkers.
You're right. And because they're going to cook the gun. And then Paul Skeens more than 15.5 pitches. I'm in the mix twice tonight, boys. I'm playing. Here we go. Let's go.
You guys got me scared about this Mason Miller one.
I'm staying away from that one. If they cook the gun, he's going to hit it easy. If it's like fine-tuned and exactly where it's supposed to be, I don't think he will.
If it's raw.
Yeah, he hits 102 every time he pitches, but never 103.
If it's a raw gun, it'll be less. If it's cooked, it'll be more. Gotcha. Okay, put that on.
It's real. That's a real thing.
It's a very real thing for sure.
They like putting the little flamethrower thing up on the screen.
Yeah.
That's a big part of the deal.
You can pretty much guarantee, like when you're watching like a primetime baseball game and you see that little flame, it's a mile per hour lower than that. Yeah.
Can you bet on that?
Yes.
While the game is going, like before he comes into the game?
To see the gun beforehand?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
This is a good question.
Oh.
All-Star Live.
Oh, if they completely lock it after first pitch and you get to see Skeen's gun, that will give you a good indication of Mason Miller's gun.
That's what I'm saying.
This is next level.
Yeah.
Prize Picks code KNML.
Uh-huh.
Go get the app. Play with us. But I think you're right.
If Skeens hits more, then Mason Miller will hit more.
I took more. 102.9. Give me more.
I think they're going to cook the gun.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, cook the gun.
Because no one's going to watch, and then they're going to be like, but look at the YouTube reel, or what's a short, real short. Look at a real short.
So what you guys are saying is that if it's called the correct way, it'll be less. But if they tend to for the entertainment part of it, it'll be more.
I'm not saying if it's the correct way, it'll be less, but I'm saying it could still be more if it's the correct way because he's got it in him.
Yeah.
But it will for certain be more if the gun has a little gumption.
So it's 75% chance more.
As long as they don't show up drunk, like last night.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, noted.
I'm really trying to walk the line on a gun joke here.
Yeah, careful.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go ahead and hop off the line, Fred.
All-Star game tonight starts at 6 o'clock Mountain. Is that correct, man?
That is correct.
So we will cover the first hour of it here on the program. And then after that, if you want some company, are you live streaming Fill in the Holes or not?
TBD.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
We're cutting it on. We're cutting it for sure.
Why is it TBD?
Because we might release it on Saturday. Because there's so much demand for it. We want you to wait till Saturday when it's live.
Two different audiences.
Well, I think they all just clamor for this program.
Who is they?
So, the audience.
The only terrestrial audience. The world of the internet wants this.
We'll have a group discussion.
No, what group?
We're missing one. We're missing one of the dirty boys.
Jay Choi?
Yeah. Who's on his way?
What's he doing? Golfing?
Probably.
Probably a meeting about golf. Or golfing at a meeting.
A golf meeting.
Yes.
Best type of meeting.
Yeah, you know it.
Whenever we get back from the break, I know we're at it, Isaiah. Whenever we get back from the break, we hit on our because daily we're doing overreactions to Jaylen Brown.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll hit on our daily Jaylen Brown overreaction. That'll be good. Also, we're going to preview
This is the best one.
Also, We're going to wait for Jay, I believe, but we're going to preview you said this is the British Open?
The Open.
Now it's just the
Formerly known. Yeah.
Mhm.
What is the difference?
A word.
It's the one.
Did they lose the trademark or something? Is that what you're saying this?
It's bigger than just the British Open. Man. It's the Open.
It's
Hard
the
Rock.
whole Commonwealth at stake.
Because now the Seminoles own it, so they're like, not anymore. Live from Dirty's Golf Shop whenever we get back. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Van Nunley and Fred Slow.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to Dirty's Golf Shop. I am Fred Slow. Dan Nunley is here. Max Machado Dan's co-host on Fill in the Holes. You can hear that on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. That sets the plate for Going Over, hosted by myself and Saleh Taylor, as we talk the world of pro wrestling. So the weekends are, they start with your boys. So there you go. It's kind of a fun thing.
What a lovely bonus for Albuquerque and surrounding areas. And even more so, anyone with internet access.
Well, and Going Over this week is going to be kind of a fun one because Duke City Championship Wrestling this upcoming Friday night is at the historic El Rey Theater. Let's go.
Nice.
You can come and check out our latest event, Final Journey. It has been released on the name of the event. Final Journey is because Hobo Hank's last competition before he has a chance to face off against Thunder for the Duke City Championship Wrestling title is Journey Fatu.
Whoa.
Another member of the Bloodline comes to the Duke City to make his New Mexico and Albuquerque debut. So watch Hobo Hank battle the cousin of Roman Reigns, the cousin of Jacob Fatu, former DCCW star, now on SmackDown, so Sikoa, the Usos, Rikishi, and so many others. So come out this Friday night. Watch Hobo Hank at the historic El Rey Theater. 8 electrifying matches. Myself on commentary. Van, you will be there in a professional capacity. Max, you will be there in a personal capacity. You're going to bring the kids?
Yeah, man. I think that's the plan.
It's going to be jazz.
They're going to love it. They're like high energy, fun kids.
Mhm.
They're gonna feed off of it and have a blast.
Well, and keep in mind, if you come to Duke City Championship Wrestling, I do own that. So if you buy a ticket at dccwtickets.com, that's sliding money right into Daddy's pockets.
Mhm.
But that money, as I believe everyone that kind of listening is aware, we do reinvest in the product. So it's about continual growth. Also, big thank you to our newest partner, Hotel Andalus. So we will, so we're excited to have them on board.
Wow.
Yeah, so good get for Duke City Championship Wrestling. So when the time comes, maybe you're not here in the region, but you're listening via the internet. If you're coming to the Albuquerque area and are looking for a place, Hotel Andalus is the stop for you, just blocks from the venue. Cool downtown vibes, cool downtown environment. So thank you today for being a part of this. Also, the newest partner of Duke City Championship Wrestling, Valley Fence. Let's go.
Yeah, baby.
Welcome to the team. We got a big announcement for they on Friday, so make sure you are live in attendance for the most family-friendly fun that you can have.
I'm excited you got another Fatu here.
Isn't that wild?
So it's like guaranteed to go into WWE now.
Kind of works.
So we're
like
batting
that.
1,000.
Yeah.
Jacob Fatu came here. A couple months later, boom, WWE contract.
He's now at he's at the top of SummerSlam, which is wild. You know what I
Sure.
mean? And, Hobo Hank, who's been a professional for some 28 years and is a really good storyteller, it's special for him to get in there, the hometown hero, in front of these guys and compete.
Sure.
And if he is victorious, like I said, the August event will be a big one. Also, the biggest announcement in the history of Duke City Championship Wrestling will be this Friday. So if you are a friend of or a partner of, come out, be a part of that thing, because it's going to be incredibly cool Friday night at the historic El Rey. It's going to be hot in the building. It's going to be incredibly cool.
Yeah, baby.
There you go. Okay, so Jaylen Brown, who is my favorite athlete of all time.
I can see why.
Everything about him is perfect. He's never failed at anything. He makes the most money. He wins the awards. He wins the games. He did not waver in his opinions of the man, Nike, and forfeited an opportunity to represent this country, which I assume he doesn't currently love, similar to me.
Mm-hmm.
So he also doesn't love Bronny James. He was watching Game 3 of the Lakers and Celtics and their G League season warm-up, preseason, summer league, AAU, YMCA thing against the Celtics.
Uh-huh.
And Jaylen Brown, in the view shot of cameras, lips the phrase, "I don't think Bronny is a pro."
Yeah.
Who is he talking to? Who's that gal? Is that his lady?
That's the key. Yes. And he's pillow talking. Red flag. Can't pillow talk, Jay Brown.
What do you mean? Like
Yo, what's up,
trying to
Mo?
whisper in Trump's ear? Is that the pillow talk you're talking about? Is that what you mean?
That was a great one.
That
man.
pillow?
That was a great one. No, you can't. He's class A pillow talking. He's hanging around the girl. He's like, yeah, that guy. Yeah, he's not that good like me.
No, it's accurate.
No one
Yeah,
is as good as
He's
him.
0 for 20 from 3. He can't make a 3-pointer. I am making, let's call it 3 out of 20. I can my 42-year-old ass can limp out onto the summer league court. I will make 3 out of 23
Oh,
pointers.
he's not even drawing iron.
You see what Jalen tweeted after the clip started going viral?
That's what I was going to bring up.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
I'll let you hit it, Max. You want to hit it? You want me
No,
to
you
hit
hit it. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got it.
Okay, it's a flex to have your son alongside you in the NBA. It reflects greatness and longevity. LeBron was never mentioned. Bronny has all the tools around him to be successful. I look forward to watching his growth. That's the most backhanded compliment.
Now, hold
Ever.
on. Does it have a date on it?
Yes, 13 hours ago.
Okay.
So,
Because to me, it looks like something that he said a long time ago, and then the truth came out last night straight from his mouth.
so
No, this is 3:47 a.m. He quote retweeted it. So he put this directly as a response to the video of him saying, "I don't think Bronny's a pro."
Oh,
He also
okay.
so that gal, whoever that gal was, so she says, I think he'll be on a G League team. And then Jalen says, well, I think he'll be on the Lakers. His dad's there.
He's going to be on the Lakers the first week of the season and then get sent to the G League.
No,
That's already the game plan.
it's not the plan.
They've announced that that's the game plan.
That is
Rob Pelinka has already announced that that's the
my
game
God.
plan.
Can I tell you why Rob is lying to you? You know more about pro wrestling than you've ever known in your life right now.
Every day, there's more thrust upon me.
Yes.
That I am not a willing participant in.
The
Yes.
greatest pro wrestler of all time
Uh-oh.
is Rey Mysterio Jr. And his son is Dominic Mysterio. And they wrestle together. And whenever Dom comes out there, just like Bronny,
Mm-hmm.
the crowd is going to go, boo! Boo! Boo you! And he's going to get it. And he's going to get it so hard. And he's going to love it. And LeBron's going to love it. And they're going to be all over TV. And they're going to get a sponsorship from Halloween. And they're going to go, boo! And it's going to be a whole thing. And they're going to ride that van. That's success.
You know the difference? Though?
0 for 20 from 3.
He don't have to shoot. He just has to get booed.
The difference is also Mr. Dominic Mysterio.
The
I feel like
best.
he welcomes and he thrives on the hate. I don't think he did things to deserve the hate, right? Because we did like him at the beginning.
No.
Bronny, I used to like him. Bronny, I thought he was a good guy.
Yeah.
Bronny has, I don't think he's done anything to deserve the hate.
Just wait
Other than-
until he slaps LeBron James at Thanksgiving dinner, and then the crowd turns on him. Boo!
Well, Bronny, he ain't got that Draymond Green gene. Draymond Green gene. He ain't got the Draymond Green genes. He's not made for that. He's not built to be the bad guy. He's had every advantage his whole life. He's been LeBron James' son. He's got nothing but compliments and good favor. Also, was Jaylen Brown talking about basketball or Call of Duty? Because I think he can go pro at Call of Duty. Which one were they talking about?
We went golfing the other day, Max. Me and Van. We went over to Tanawa.
Okay.
It's a country club.
Yeah.
So we go over there to
Mhm.
golf, and there is some folks there from Carlsbad, where,
Okay.
where Van grew up, where
Cool.
Van was a teenager, and they say to
Hmm.
Van, they go, "Junior, Van Senior's boy," and Van goes, "Yep,"
No way.
and they go, "Boo, boo! We wish you were senior." Boo! How far off is that?
None of this
How
happened.
far off is
like
that?
anywhere close whatsoever.
Oh yeah, what happened?
Nothing. It was overwhelming praise. They missed me. The biggest hugs ever. I got a smooch on the cheek.
They booed him.
We're so proud of
Booed
you
him
and what
off the
you've been
course.
doing. We listen to the program all the time. You're the best in the
Mhm.
biz. You're probably going to shoot 12 under today. I've never seen you golf, but we're just assuming.
They were
That's all. That's what they said.
they were chirping like boo birds.
And you know, Fred, you were right. She definitely says, I think he'll be in the G League. But you know what I noticed? Angel Reese.
Is she there
she's-
too?
Yeah, she's sitting right next to Jalen's wife, girlfriend.
Less on Prize Picks.
Nice.
And she's yes, I did put that in. she's sitting there, and you can tell she does the casual, like, I'm not gonna get caught on camera talking trash. Like, she looks and she sees and she looks back down at her phone, like, I'm not in this. That's what you're supposed to do. And when you see someone doing that, that's when you know there's trash being talked. I don't think Jalen knew he was going to be caught on camera saying that.
Okay, first off, he's like a genius. It's like
He saw everything.
he summers at MIT and Harvard. The dude's like a legit genius. He knows there's cameras everywhere. He's not dumb enough to think that everything he does isn't on camera anymore.
Maybe he used all his brain power on his assignments that day, and then he came to the game to relax. And that's why he's caught lacking here on camera.
Hey, he was slumming at Summer League, Lakers, Celtics.
So many better things to do.
Well, all of his friends are they're in Saudi Arabia playing basketball right now,
Well,
so he's not getting anyone to hang out with.
It's his team. Like they're the minor league Celtics, but they're still the Celtics.
Hey, but
you got to
he said-
support the organization.
Dog, from the way he's talking, he don't even think they're pros though. Like he was like cool, you're getting paid to play. That doesn't make you a pro. Like
That literally makes you a pro.
that's what makes you a pro.
Yeah,
And he's like, I don't think Bronny's a pro.
Like
and you're
anywhere.
oh,
You know what's starting to happen right before our eyes? We're seeing a guy who was before viewed as such a fine guy in the limelight as an NBA player.
I still think so.
Same.
I think that he's going to start doing things because he won his championship and he got his finals MVP. I think we're going to start to see him switch, and I think he's going to go heel. I think he's going to turn heel on us
And
all.
The money. Don't
And-
leave out the money.
Yeah, the money,
They
the
gave him
championship.
all of it.
I think now he's like, I don't care. I don't have to be humble anymore. I think this will be the summer where he starts saying whatever he thinks.
If he's going after Nike, if he's trying to fight a corporation single-handedly, I think Bronny is in the clear. I don't think Bronny is kind of punching down for Jaylen Brown at this moment.
Him going after Nike is signing
Goliath?
his own death certificate, like professionally.
You don't need it. It's not. They don't got a monopoly on making shoes.
Nike?
Yeah,
Yes, they do.
good ones maybe.
They have a monopoly on the U.S. Olympic team.
Well, don't need it.
I feel like Kyrie kind of made it out on top of Nike.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What?
So,
And
They don't
Jalen
like
will
Kyrie.
too.
They don't like Kyrie on this program, Max.
Oh,
That's
okay,
why I
I'm
can't
sorry.
really.
Hey.
I think Jalen and Kyrie are very close.
Jalen needs to bring back Converse. Michael Jordan ruined Converse for the whole world. Now
Someone
it's time to
just
bring it back.
Shea. It was Shea. SGA. I think he signed with Converse. I think he's trying.
Oh, nice. Good.
Yeah,
I hope they're on the
SGA.
way up.
Do you remember when Nike tried to kill Zion Williams?
Yeah.
Sin?
Sen- Yep.
blew his shoe out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't-
Sniper.
Nike don't care about you. They just want. They need. What are those Shaq shoes that used to be cool? Get those. Those were the jam.
The Walmart Shacks?
Yeah.
Or the Reebok Shacks?
What about Starberries, bro? If I had a pair of Starberries, I'd wear them right now.
Yeah.
Also,
Those are actually kind of
I'm gonna
cool.
look something up real quick. Size
Yeah, SGA is a
13.
Converse member. Shout out
Good.
to Jerry.
Yeah.
Shout out Jerry West.
Bring it back. Canadian Converse.
Jerry used to rock the Converse.
Is
Yeah,
saying
it's the Air Stories.
is saying somebody's not a pro like that big of a diss? Also, like I feel like we could talk. NBA players got to say way worse things about other players.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? So like I wouldn't even if I was Bronny, I wouldn't even like bug me. I guess it's because it's the MVP coming off of the Finals MVPs making that
like
statement.
one of the best to do it in the organization. Like, excuse me, in the association. It's gonna sting a little bit.
Yeah, it's a sore
But-
wound right now.
But yeah,
That-
he's just gonna go to fall asleep in a giant pile of money already. He's fine.
Yeah, I don't think Bronny cares. If anything, it probably bothers LeBron more than it did his son.
I bet it does.
I found some sweet Starberries on eBay.
Let's go. Are they still cheap?
No, I mean they're like $40, but they're sweet red, white, and blue ones. Like I really feel like I could put this out there.
Ooh, it's a good year to wear them.
This year is the one.
Yeah,
There's an election,
it's election
the
year.
Olympics,
Hmm.
other USA reasons. Probably a tax break or something.
Is it now?
I don't know.
That'd be sweet.
I
It
mean-
should be.
I've been paying attention to some like politics recently, and it turns out if you own more than 50 rental properties, Joe Biden hates you.
I think it's 500.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
Was it 500?
yeah,
Okay, then
I
never
mean-
mind. We're cool.
it's a fantastic thing that he did. He doesn't.
Owning 50
for-
alone's a lot, isn't it?
It's for
Oh,
slumlords.
Yeah, it's
I think
for
it's-
some lords.
Anyone who owns more than 500 doors and you're raising the rent by more than 5%, you can't get any tax breaks anymore.
Correct.
I think that's fantastic.
Dude, owning 500 that you,
It-
they shouldn't be too bugged by it.
Well, it's easy when you're a slumlord.
Yeah.
You don't do anything. You just
Be awful.
have you ever been
Noted.
to a project?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Same.
Yeah.
Isaiah, you ever been to a project like a legit one?
Yes.
Oh, they're terrible. They are so terrible.
Mhm.
Usually those are government owned, not private. But
Yes.
yeah, but there's some awful like low income apartments out there. what's the only way they could stay in business is with those low income HUD or whatever it is in your state tax breaks.
That's like basically government, yeah.
And that's weird. Not to get too obviously deep into it, but like even out there in Chicago, downtown, out there in those projects, they're literally raising the rent to push people out of the famous O Block.
Gentrification, brother. That's the whole world right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
but it's like, what if people don't
city
no one's trying to move into that area. So it's like the people who are living there are there because they are rooted there and they feel that although it's dangerous, they are somewhat safe. So if you just push everybody out, what if no one's trying to come back? Like, what if there's no return?
Well, they'll come back
that's
in
a
chunks.
risk.
Yeah, they'll come back when you get all the riffraff out of the apartment complex and they come in and gentrify it and put in an overpriced coffee shop and an REI.
That'll do it.
I'll go to that REI though. They got nice things.
The sales section's pretty.
Yeah,
it's
a good
pretty
spot,
nice.
the clearance area.
I'm never paying full price at REI. Are you kidding me?
For what? Like what there is worth full price?
Nothing. Literally nothing.
Yeah. Discount rack only. Like, oh, it's 2 seasons old. I'll wait 2 seasons
You wait
before
2
I put it on.
seasons, it's
I
fine.
okay, that doesn't.
Yeah. REI has garage sales like behind the building.
Correct.
Like, once a month, and you can get everything for half
You
price.
go to like an REI on a Saturday morning. They're just dudes in Subarus with the backs open that are like, "What are you looking for?"
What
And
what
you're
you got?
like,
I got
that-
I got IER stuff right here. It's It's just as good.
Did you know Dwayne Wade once had a Converse deal?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-Jordan, right?
No way. D Wade with Converse. Let me find out it was MVP Wade.
Are those on eBay too?
He had some suede. I remember black suede. D-Wade.
Dude,
Really?
suede
Joints
needs to
with,
come back.
Yeah.
You guys remember the John Walls when those dropped, those black ones with the blue bottoms? It was like a wave, looked like a wavelength in the bottom of the shoe. The year he came out of college.
Right out of Kentucky, right? I do.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like I do remember those.
Those Reeboks. Oh, those are so sweet.
I had a real moment. It's been a while now because I've been kind of embarrassed about it, so I haven't talked about it on air or recreated it. But maybe like a year ago, I bought a pair of Penny 2s because they were like my favorite as kids.
Dude,
Oh.
And
I think I remember.
And I wore them to Duke City Championship Wrestling, and no one complimented me. And I like
they're not Jordans.
that, but they were sick, dude.
Yeah, they're
Like,
sweet.
I got the black and blue with like the silver lining, and I was like, "These are fire!"
Yeah.
I put on like a suit. I was like doing the whole thing, and then no one said anything. And I like left mad.
It's a bummer, man. I hope another shoe.
I'm gonna put it
company-
back on today or for this Friday. I'm
You
gonna wear
should.
this Friday.
Well, you should.
I'm gonna overcome it.
I will
I'll
make a note to
I'll
say something
I'll
sweet.
slap
Say-
you across your mouth.
We'll be there, so we'll
Yeah.
make a point.
We'll
to-
all say something really nice to you.
I dated a girl one time who was wearing flashy shoes at an event we threw, and I told everyone there to compliment her on the shoes, and it was like the best day of her life.
That is amazing.
super smart move.
I hope she's not listening right now.
That ex-girlfriend, I doubt it.
Okay.
Also, Van, please don't do that to me. I'll be so mad. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610.
Yeah.
We're talking golf whenever we get back. The Sports Animal. Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to Two Men On. Jay Choi joining us on the show. Jay, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing good, buddy. Thank you for taking the time with us. Jay Choi is the co-host of Filling the Holes with Van Nunley and Max Machado, which you can hear on Saturday AMs right here on The Sports Animal. Max will be joining us in just a moment. Dirty's Golf Shop is full of dirty heads. So
The Dirty Boys ring out, man. It's been nonstop foot traffic in here since we started the program. Not enough Max for my liking, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We're at his place of business.
he said he didn't like baseball or you, so that really slowed down the first hour.
Now, hold on. That was during the commercial break. We're not supposed to tell everybody that.
I don't know what I don't know. Jay, how have the Lynx been? You been playing?
Played a little bit.
Yeah?
Yesterday
Anything?
and this morning. No, not yesterday. This morning.
They all run together now.
It
Don't they?
was a long day. I haven't slept yet. It was a long.
You haven't slept since this morning? That's not that impressive.
No, yesterday morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I've been just busy.
Oh, my goodness, man.
So
Are you constantly on two clocks? Because you were a pro over in Asia for like 20 years. How long were you pro over there?
14 years in Japan.
14 years in
Just
Japan.
traveled out, based out of Japan to other countries.
So are you on two clocks all the time? Like, are you like doing regular life here in this time zone and then doing another regular life over in a Japanese time zone?
Basically. Well, I mean, I got some work I still do in Japan. So sometimes the time clock is
Yeah.
backwards
Now,
there. So.
Van and I have discussed going to Japan with you to live like the king that you lived like for so many years.
King?
Yeah.
King?
Taste of the good life.
That's what we need. Will we be able to, at a reasonable hour, do the show from Japan, or is that not an option?
Let's see. 4 o'clock here at evenings, 7 a.m. there. It's doable.
That's very doable.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Very
That's
doable.
easy.
Consider it done. Like, I'm super in on this plan.
Oh, dude, golf is unbelievably fun there.
Well, I'm everything about that. That is that. So Max Machado is going to join us after the break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk the Open, and we're going to talk about golf this weekend. And then you guys are going to create the Saturday Golf Show after tonight's episode, which may or may not be streamed online during the All-Star game.
Could or could not be.
2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
FM AM 610, the sports animal. One Van Nunley here, one Max Machado there, one Jay Choi right next to him. Fred Slow taking one off, hitting some, he's on your putting green here at Dirty's Golf Shop, Max.
Yeah, he's playing some wall hooky. Ooh, almost got it too.
We're here live at Dirty's Golf Shop. Let's hit him with the address, Max.
1439 San Mateo Boulevard, Northeast.
And I'm assuming your special hours when we're here, right? You're going to stay open a little later since we're right here doing the program anyways?
Yeah, we're going to be here, so roll through.
Swing on by. We'll be here till like 7:45. Another customer comes right in, and I think Fred's going to help him find the merch that he so loves and desires and needs while we talk about the Open this weekend. Friend of the show, we're going to pause 2 Men On for one segment, and we're going to give you a little dose of Dirty Boys Present Fill in the Holes, which you can find Saturday morning at 8 o'clock right here on 95.9 FM AM 610, the sports animal. We talk golf. We're golf and golf adjacent on that program. The Open coming up this weekend, Jay, that's a big one. It's pretty unique, isn't it?
It is. It's one of the four majors. It takes place in Europe somewhere. Always.
It's unique because they keep the course, I guess you could call it old school style, like because it's so thick. The rough is so thick. There's so many bunkers. There's water everywhere. It's one of the most challenging and unique courses.
Might not have water on this one. I don't know.
You
never know with the links course. It's either water.
I mean, not streams.
Streams. There you go.
It's called links type of golf course. They use the nature of the slope, the nature slope itself, and they just built a golf course around it or in it. So,
right,
it's unique. It's
here in the
unique
United States. We move Earth, right? We just start shaping stuff, and build it however we want to build it. There, it's just that's how it was done 200 years ago.
Isn't it like bending dunes and stuff like that? It's very
as close
Scotland-like. It's like British-like.
Yeah, that's as close as we're gonna get.
I mean, it's going to be at the Royal Troon in Troon, Scotland. It's been around since friggin' 1878.
There you go.
I mean, it's not like us here in the desert Southwest. You could just build a course in the middle of the desert, grow some grass, and move some cactus around. This is the way it's been basically since 1878.
Some modification, I'm sure, but yeah, pretty close to.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to make it longer for modern golf, but this thing's basically untouched from the original vision of the course.
Yeah, man, that's like one of the coolest parts about the Open is just like, history is part of the game, and so, but this is the deepest you're going to get history, right? Because this is where the game originated.
Hey, Jay, I mean, have you played in courses like this, like the old golf courses, like not like a new American course, a new Japanese course, but something that's been around for over 100 years?
Oh, 100 years. Wow. That's a pretty long time. Not that I could think of. Not many courses are over 100 years old in the U.S.
If you were to plan an attack on this course, how would it affect your normal game playing on a course like this, a links course in Scotland?
The weather is the biggest probably difference. The way you hit the ball won't be much different if you're in Europe or your U.S. or Japan or Asia, anywhere. The weather is a big factor. It gets windy and thicker wind over there than probably a lot of courses here. I don't know. Bend and Dune is supposed to get really thick and heavy wind. I mean, wind has different weight to it, right?
Sure.
Coastal wind.
Yeah, especially a coastal wind in Scotland.
So its ball goes nowhere when you hit against it. And when you're with it, ball still drops because it's thicker. It's weird. It's a still different way to play golf. Not just because of the golf course, just because of the weather that comes with it.
And it's like you have to consider like how wet it is, how moist the fairways are, how moist the greens are.
Mm-hmm.
It's friggin' Scotland on the coast. Like everything's going to be moist. It's not going to dry out in the afternoon. Like here, it's going to be wet the whole time.
That's one of the interesting things about links golf, though, is it's all built on sand.
Right.
So like the course drains pretty well, and it, like for the most part, unless we get gnarly weather, it is going to play like kind of firm and fast. So you're going to see a lot of more shots instead of like flying to the hole and stopping. You're gonna see a lot more dudes like rolling the ball like over these contours like to get to the hole, right? Because if you try to land it, it could just bounce and God knows where it goes.
Sure.
You know, because we're not dealing with turf, right? Like
Yeah.
this is
Bare
something
ground.
that's been growing for almost 150 years.
There's been people
It's
been
not-
stepped on, packed in, and
Yeah, and like I said, it's all built on like coastal sand. So like that's one of the more interesting aspects. You'll see a guy you'll see a shot land in the middle of the fairway, and you go, "Oh, whoa, good shot!" And then you'll see it roll 30 more yards, and then it'll start, taking some contour, and then it ends up in some like looks like sinkhole bunker, and you sit there, and the guy said he hits the shot. He goes, "Oh, it's scratching his head like I hit a good one and landed right in the middle of the fairway. What did I do wrong?"
So this would be like one of the type of courses, Jay, where a good caddy goes a long way.
oh,
Or
very.
you could work on a game plan.
Any tournaments, good caddy goes a long way. Really. I mean, the best caddy is the caddy that knows when to shut up. So,
Okay.
like, I mean, they'll give you information as much as you need. So any golf course you're on, caddy is a big help, but especially here, yes, especially.
A lot of things to factor in, right? We're dealing with like a landing spot, the total yardage. We're factoring in wind, factoring in contour. You'll see probably guys aiming 20, 30 yards right or left of a target and watching that ball either get brought in by the wind or some big hill, like influence that ball and bring it all the way back to where they're, trying to send it.
And as long as the modern golfer is, like everyone's hitting it, just crushing it further than they ever have in the history of golf, is this the one where they're going to have to tone it down in a different style of golf is going to be more prevalent throughout the weekend?
All right, we'll see what DeChambeau does.
Yeah.
I mean, he's known to outpower the golf course, so
That's
see.
always a possibility that someone could just like blast it down there so close to the green that it doesn't matter. Like if that's fairway or bunker or rough, like they got a pretty good chance of just putting it on the green, which is going to be a lot easier than a guy who is 100 yards behind them in the fairway trying to hit that same approach shot, right? So, but also like this course, I feel like, or the open courses tend to at times like make it a much more level playing field.
Okay.
Because it's, if you hit driver, like it could reward you or it could be a disaster.
And that's what you're trying to avoid in a tournament like this is the disaster holes, right?
Yeah,
you don't want to have a blow up.
These guys are all so good that like one, a quadruple bogey or triple bogey or something. I mean, that's the difference between first and seventh place or 25th place.
Well, with that being said, let me ask you guys, like, whose game really fits this course? Because like if you got a guy who's overconfident, like a Bryson, like the aforementioned Bryson, who's just going to try to whack it 400 every time and get as close as possible, he'll probably get himself in trouble. But who's that like conservative golfer who's going to really study the course and he's going to take advantage of it?
I really think DeChambeau has a really good chance this week. He has proven at U.S. Open that troubles can't stop him. And obviously Rory's been hot too. Everybody's has a chance here because, like what Max said, you could hit a great shot, and wind just stopped all of a sudden. That your ball just doesn't go the way you intended to hit it, and you're just going to end up in the bush. Like so, as much as it's a square field, it's also kind of luck is more involved in the other championships, in my opinion. So.
I always have a gut feeling that like the Europeans or international, we call them international players, like they tend to do better in this tournament because when the weather does come, which is somewhat inevitable most of the time, like they play in that in Europe more often. They're just more comfortable in it. There's some guys that can kind of trick themselves into like, ooh, like this is my moment now because the weather sucks. Like,
right.
Like I know how to do this. Most guys don't know how, and they can figure out a way to play the mental game to where this bad situation or these poor conditions are actually like an advantage for them personally. You know what I mean? So it's the guys who can get in that headspace of like, this is fun, like hitting these crazy shots, like sweepers 50 yards left and right and trying to roll and bounce the ball. Like the dude's like, the DeChambeau kind of does fit into that as well. You know what I mean? He is a dude who just like launches it, but like I don't know. I think you'll see dudes like from all different levels of career. You'll see some European tour players. I think you'll see some mid-level PGA guys like Fowler, or
It was not
have
too
fun
long
with that.
ago. Watson almost won.
There you go. Yeah,
Right.
like he was like what in his 50s,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
you just embraced that moment, right? Like the weather sucked, and like I don't have to crush it because like all I got to do is hit it straight. Like that was the battle at that one, and he was pulling it off. And he had
Tom
nothing to
Watson
lose. He had nothing to lose,
Sure.
dude. He's already had his full career. It was just like a swan song moment for the guy.
Yeah, I love moments like that, and we see it. I feel like we see it more often in majors than the smaller tournaments where it's pretty status quo the whole time. There's always something magical about a major. There's always some great story, and we're so excited to bring you some of these great stories every Saturday morning at 8 o'clock on Filling the Holes with myself, Van Nunley, Max Machado, and Jay Choi, who will be joining us for the rest of the program. We'll have more golf talk later in the program. I want to talk about Rory a little bit, and no one needs a bounce back worse than him. And this is, I mean, miles away from his homeland. So I know he's got a lot in his head and his heart this weekend. When we get back, more sports and sports adjacent content. You're listening to Two Men On 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal.
This report is sponsored.
Clear.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to Two Men On, where Van, Jay, and Max wouldn't let me talk golf with them. Bunch of bullies, really, Jay Choi.
Stay in your lane. I reluctantly talk wrestling with you. You can reluctantly talk golf with me every once in a while if you'd like.
I got the numbers, boys. How much money every Major League Baseball team made, and how much money every Major League Baseball team has spent, okay?
Okay.
Now, spent on payroll, Jay.
Okay.
I'm not talking about
Merch
popcorn.
okay.
Yeah. Numbers. So sitting in the very, very bottom, the Tampa Bay Rays brought in a measly $300 million.
Hold on. That's ticket sales? Is that what it is? Or is
That's revenue. So that involves TV. That involves everything. And they spent only $100 million on players, which is the second lowest amount of money spent on players. The first being the Athletics, who brought in $241 million. So what am I trying to say? These two teams are only spending about 34% of their revenues on payroll. So they're grossing 75% into their pocketbooks, making them the most profitable of the Major League Baseball teams. Comparatively,
wild.
The Mets brought in $393 million, but spent $342 million. So the Rays made approximately $270 million more than the Mets did last year.
I think there's more factors into that, because if you own your own television network, which I believe the Mets do, the Dodgers do, the Yankees do, the Astros do, a lot of the big dogs, that revenue is separate. But they still get the profit sharing from MLB. So I think this revenue versus payroll is just within the organization and not counting the TV revenue or the profit sharing from the league itself.
So now we know.
Because it would be a way bigger number. It would be a way bigger number.
In my head, I think I would want it to be 50%. Like if I was like a team, I would want to always spend half of everything I bring in revenues on my team. And only one team did that, and that was the Royals. That didn't work out for them. So I don't know what the best formula is.
I think 95% is the formula.
Yeah, you try not to make any money?
Well, I mean, if the owners pay every salary is included in their payroll, spend all you make to make your team better. Like, what's the profit for? If you already made, if you're the owner and if you're a shareholder of a corporate, I understand. Yeah.
Do they not know who Phil Knight is?
Okay.
You guys hear the Phil Knight story?
All right.
Phil Knight single-handedly infusing his own money into Oregon's NIL so that they have unlimited NIL. So more baseball owners should do.
Nice.
Owners in general, honestly.
I mean, there's a reason that they got to be billionaires in the first place and buy a major sports franchise, and it's not spending their own money. That's not the formula.
Being generous with the
I don't know. I'm just saying, for the team, to make a best team, I think, to spend as much as we make.
Well, so the Yankees brought in the most money, right? So they brought in the most, $679 million.
They got to be more with the TV. You're right. Yeah. Okay.
They spent the third most amount of money at $316 million, which is only 46%.
Is there a cap on players too? Like how much your team can spend, or
there's a luxury tax and stuff, but
I mean cap. Like,
nope.
So there's no salary cap of a team could have. Like
there's it's a luxury tax in baseball.
Oh, there's no. Why aren't they spending more to get better players?
The more you spend, the more you get taxed, and the higher tax bracket you go into, there's also draft punishment and like international spending pool punishment. It's one of the weirdest equations in all of professional sports.
It's all the MLB PA stuff. So like you've never one time heard of draft picks being traded in Major League Baseball because they can't do that. And which is like, to me as a consumer, really weird, because like finishing in last all the time is Oakland, is whoever. And you don't want those guys to continually have the number one draft pick, because then they don't end up like Paul Skeens. Like the Pirates should have been able to trade that pick to the Yankees for a ton of cash and some players, and Paul Skeens should have been a Yankee. Like that's what, in my opinion, makes teams more equal. That's what makes it more competitive, and it makes it more interesting. But MLB PA doesn't let any of that stuff fly.
If he was the Yankee, I bet the MLB ratings would be what, like
Better.
times 3 more than they are right
It would
now.
be better. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if he was a Yankee, Dodger, Red Sox, or Cub,
sheesh.
yeah, it would be national news instead of just baseball, little bit of fringe sports news.
There you go. If you don't spend it, you end up making a ton of money.
End up paying more tax too,
Well, you will.
as a corporate.
And also, the team that made the least profit still made such an insane amount of money. Just so much money, hand over fist. Everybody's doing it right.
Yeah, every formula here, all these ingredients will make a delicious pie. The All-Star game starts when we get back from the break. We're going to obviously give you our updates on that. Also, I love this stuff because we're in the industry. Awful Announcing has put out their local MLB broadcast rankings on who has the worst. This is a little bit low-hanging fruit, but
I like this a lot.
I do like to pick it, so we will go with that. It's 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, live from Dirty's Golf Shop, the sports animal.
I ain't trying to take you out to the moon.
This is 2 Men On with Van Nunley.
Mike's hot.
Oh,
Final hour of the program. Crazy how fast time goes. Major League Baseball All-Star Game is about to start. It'll be a fun one. Also, if you're playing prize picks with us, 505-246-0610. Call or text the program. Let us know how you are doing. Awful Announcing, which if you don't mess with Awful Announcing, awfulannouncing.com, they put out just all of the broadcast blunders. They put out stuff that's easy to laugh at. And specifically because I'm industry, I really enjoy it. So this would be like, I don't know, say if you were like a truck driver or something, and there was a website that was like, I don't know, Trucker Tales or something, and it would, like whatever, it's that idea. So they put out their midseason Major League Baseball broadcast duos rankings. Okay, I guess it doesn't have to be duos. Broadcast rankings. Obviously, at the very bottom are the usual suspects. So that's the White Sox. That's the A's. That Jenny Kavnar she's the worst.
Hey, I am pro lady anything.
Okay.
Give you a shot all the ladies out there.
Mhm.
But boy, howdy, did you pick the wrong one.
She sucks.
She's awful.
She is not
Oh, my
good.
goodness.
So with that said, let's jump to the top. I feel like there are no iconic broadcast duos teams anymore. I feel like the day of that is gone. I feel like not our team so fortunate to have those really established voices that you were used to growing up the way I was with like a Jack Buck growing up, the way so many were with the Dodgers. There's just a different day and age. So they're currently sitting as, and I think this is very correct, play-by-play for the Mets is Gary Cohen with Ron Darling and Keith Hernandez. And I think that's probably the only iconic set of broadcasters really left in the game. I don't think San Francisco hits the way that it used to. I definitely don't think San Diego does. I don't know, boys. I think the days of really recognizable and identifiable, maybe Bob Carpenter with the Nationals, but I just don't think there's those dudes anymore. Who were those voices for you guys growing up, guys? Who were those voices in whatever sport that you identify by? What were those iconic listens when you guys were coming up enjoying sports?
Well, I think to piggyback on what you said before we move on is like we're in a transition period in baseball announcing because Vin Scully gone, Harry Carey gone, Bob Uecker gone. Like these legendary voices of the generation aren't doing it anymore, and we're like a transition period and seeing the new guys.
It's not good. And I guess now with the way that everything has changed with regional broadcast and the rights to all those things, I don't think it's ever going to come back to strong. I actually think this makes you qualify for SAG. I think.
That's wild. That I did not know.
I'd have to double check that. But I mean, it's just going to end up costing too much, and you're not going to get outside individuals to pay for it the way they currently do. You will not have these established broadcast teams. And also, you can't just plug and play guys anymore. I'll use my team, the St. Louis Cardinals. Chip Carey does not hit with the Cardinals the way he did with the Braves.
That's wild he left.
It's wild.
We talked about it when it happened on this program.
Yeah.
It was, 2 years ago or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe he left the Braves. He was an icon in the Braves organization. And, hey, Cardinals, great gig, legendary franchise. But you're that guy. You could have had – if he would have stayed with the Braves, he could have had one of those careers we were just talking about, like a Vin Scully, Harry Carey kind of trajectory, but he jumped ship.
Max Machado and Jay Choi joining us. In the world of golf, boys, who is that voice for you when you're watching a something? Who is that broadcast whatever? And do you miss Joe?
What's his name? Coster?
Costas?
The Costas? Yeah.
Peter
Bob
Costas.
Costas?
Peter Costas.
Yeah, Bob Costas.
It was Bob. Or is it Peter? Peter.
Peter Costas was the golfer,
CBS guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bob Costas
on
is
course,
the
dude.
greatest.
Bob Costas was good too. He did master stuff, I think, for a while.
Joe Buck was doing the U.S. Open for a while when he was number one in football, baseball, golf, and NASCAR because he's the greatest broadcaster of all time.
Oh, that's a hot take.
I mean, I'm trying to think, but I can't think of any iconic voices.
And-
I guess I never paid attention.
Jim Nance is the obvious one.
Jim Nance is a big one in golf.
Oh,
like my
Jim
guy,
Nance, yeah.
I think Gary McCord was a dude.
Oh yeah, there you go.
He was like that first
With that-
kind of
with the
color
little-
guy for the PGA Tour. Like I think that
Gary McCord is actually with that little.
The mustache
Yeah, the
deal.
handlebar.
Yes, he had the handlebar mustache, and he would like crack jokes on the air, which turned like the really dull broadcast of golf at the time into like
And who's the guy jumped over to live?
Faraday.
That's my guy.
Faraday.
David Faraday is awesome. He brings some fun and some levity to that instead of the whisper for 4 hours every Sunday. Like he brings a little fun into it. Like I really enjoy that angle.
Golf is kind of funny how commentators are even whispering. They go, "On number 14, this is."
Yeah.
It's one sport that
It's wild ASMR.
Yeah.
Like, because Jim Nance, you're not there on the hole. Like you're in
a
the
little booth.
production truck.
Yeah, they can't hear you. Even if you're on the hole where the production truck is,
Mhm.
they still can't hear you, dude.
A
You could
broadcast
say anything.
unlike any other. Like,
I bet the people who's watching at home, viewers are intense as much as probably they are. The players are. That's why they're trying to.
I think it's
It
all
matches the tone, maybe.
I don't even know if you're right. Like I think the way you watch golf and the way Max watches golf is not the way that most people watch golf. I think
Probably.
I think most people watch golf napping on their couch.
100%.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I think golf is ASMR-y. I think golf is
Hangover cure.
yeah.
I mean, it's exactly that for me. If it's not like a Sunday of a major and it's close and exciting, I'm napping. Like just that low tone, the whisper, the background sounds of the golf course. It's so soothing.
I haven't had a TV in 20 years, so I don't like.
You know what we did find
Because
though?
you're too busy golfing every Sunday, Jay.
That's what it was.
Jay said that he just found a DVD of his Japanese tour victory, like the broadcast, the 5-hour broadcast.
Please.
Yeah, I found it. Well, actually, my wife found it. She was going through some of my old stuff. It was like newspapers and stuff. And it's like, babe, where's your DVD?
Me and Van should
Whoa.
cut a riff track over it.
Yes, 100%.
Like
I'm
us
making note
doing
of
the
this right now.
broadcast.
The quality, the picture quality is so bad. I don't know what's up with that. It was how Japan TV broadcasting works is you have to get a box. It's a recorder box that you connect your TV into that, and you connect your cable service into the box. You don't do it directly to TV.
Sure.
And it's like TiVo, right? But it's
Gotcha.
hardcore TiVo. And the person who gave me this DVD basically recorded it onto his hard disk on his TV, and then he took it out to file, and then he burnt it. So the quality of the picture just goes.
It's degraded over
It's
versions.
degraded. It's just like you could see like 42 pixels on my face.
One
instead
day-
of face.
We got AI to fix all that.
Really?
Yeah, we can upscale.
Oh,
all
let's
that.
do that.
100%.
Well, and one day what's going to happen is all those archives, like whoever does own them, like the natives, they're just going to show up on the internet somewhere. Like it's going to be like now available, the Japanese tour from 2016 or whatever. And that's going to be, and people are, no, there's not going to be an announcement. It's like, but you'll Google it one day and it'll be there and you'll be like, we're living in the future. Like
That's
it's all
great though. That means any archives of video could be searchable. But that's awesome.
my favorite thing
Or is
about
it
a
good or
real,
bad thing?
my favorite thing about a really good broadcast is whenever like a big lead or a big chase. Like if it's a blowout, how like a broadcast of a game. I prefer baseball, but this works for any of them. How it'll just turn into like a podcast between the two guys that are doing it. And like there's no longer interest in whatever's going on the field. So it's, I don't know, give me chasing position players are pitching kind of thing. Like how excited the broadcasters get for that thing. Like whenever you're chasing, maybe 10 even, something crazy. And you're able to talk about like, oh, you're just working on your inside out stuff here or whatever. You just it's not even about the game. It's about like the vibes. Give me that in like my broadcast teams, which I don't think I find anymore. Also in those types of games, I feel like it's a lot of sponsor reads now.
Yeah. Also, I need to put this on my to-do list tomorrow to go to the thrift store and get a DVD player so I can watch Jay's tournament.
I just bought it on
Does anyone still own a
Amazon.
DVD player?
I didn't have one. So I just went on Amazon and primed it the next day shipping, got it 5 a.m., plugged it in to see if it worked, and it worked. I was like, cool.
I think I still have a DVD player in like an old tower PC. Like I think there's like one somewhere I could watch on like a weird, terrible screen and it would be fine.
Well, I had to find one with the HDMI connector because I have no TV with AV connectors.
Right. That doesn't even
So-
exist anymore.
Yeah. So
Jeez, I got the
that's why I
DVD
had to
player.
get one from Amazon with the HDMI connector. Connection available.
Good old Amazon.
$27. Good to go.
$27. Those
I've got
things
the
used to be like
DVD
500
gonna
when they
say.
came out.
I got the
Yeah.
DVD player, the Atari. I've got the whole gang at the house.
Ooh.
I feel like DVD players came over on like the Mayflower. Like it has been so long.
Yo,
Yeah,
Redbox just filed for bankruptcy.
Double bankruptcy.
Double bankruptcy. And it makes sense because the last time I Redboxed a movie, I got home and we found out that we didn't own a DVD player anymore.
That's a good one. I never used. I was always Netflix guy, so I just got my DVD in mail and watched it, and they give you return mail, so you put it back.
Yes,
in.
we remember Netflix.
Yeah.
You guys
We
need
were
game
all born-
systems.
Yeah.
That
You
is-
guys need game systems. There you go. We were just talking about this. The game systems with the disc slot.
Do they play DVDs or just
Oh
Blu-rays?
yeah,
Blu-ray.
Blu-ray, DVDs.
Oh, is it
anything.
both? I don't even know what the technology is in that. Like, is it
I got rid
the
of my
same?
They stack on pretty much everything. So like,
Tell me more about your DVDs, Grandpa.
more.
The first DVD I ever bought was I had to buy the player to buy the DVD. So it would have been 2000 and Gladiator had just come out. And I wanted to get Gladiator.
You sure it's not Blu-ray?
No, that was DVD.
Blu-ray was like mid, like 2005.
Was it? Because it's
2006.
PlayStation 3-ish, right?
Okay,
yeah.
exactly.
That's what made PlayStation 2 the number one selling console of all time, because it was cheaper than DVD players, and it also played DVDs.
Really?
Yeah,
it
Xbox
was.
didn't.
It was it. And then the PlayStation 3 was basically the same thing. You're buying a PlayStation 3 with a Blu-ray player for cost of a Blu-ray player.
That was like a computer also for people at the time.
Yeah,
PlayStation
that's when,
3.
like, web
Wait,
browsing
so
started with
PlayStation 2s were less expensive than a DVD player?
Yeah, or the same price, but you
Wow.
also got a Nintendo or whatever.
Wow.
It was like the DVD of Gladiator came out, but the VHS wasn't going to come out until like sometime later. So then as it came out, what was that highlight right there?
Nolan Ryan walking out on the field to throw out the first pitch at the All-Star game.
Oh, in front of the Rangers fans?
And
What's the over/under on his velocity?
75.
Probably still.
oh, you know he could still pump
He's
it.
gonna rip
No,
one. He's throwing it from the
75.
mound too,
You
like
know
a
it.
boss.
Yeah, they got a bunch of old-timers here for the Rangers coming out.
It seems like there was no boos or jeers for the national anthem, so I think they're off their schneid.
What was that cat's name? Cody Johnson?
Cody
Mhm.
Johnson.
That was a fella or like?
That was a fella,
Okay.
and I
What were
just learned that a few seconds ago.
What were DVD players listing for? Give me a number.
In 2000?
Because so
Oh,
that means they
man,
were
no,
north
no.
of 200.
$500-$600 bucks?
Yeah,
Wow.
$500 when they came out.
Yeah,
That's
easy.
insane.
I remember my mom went to Ultimate Electronics on
Oh,
Manal
yeah, I
R&D.
remember that.
and bought a DVD player and brought it home. And we got. My dad was like, "How much did this cost us to watch this movie?"
Wow.
It was like, yeah, like $500.
What about those ones that had tapes and DVD players? Those
The
were probably-
combo? Yeah, the combo was the big deal. The real you would get the DVD player and then you get home, but you still had like a cathode ray tube television, so you couldn't like it didn't even matter.
It made no difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then flat screens at the time were not the technology we have today,
Mm-mm.
so it
Mm.
was
It was still thick. Was
And
it
they,
two?
and they were
Yeah.
a bajillion for a plasma.
I remember
screen.
Oh,
2003. I bought a Samsung flat screen, 42-inch,
huge.
Huge.
in my apartment. It was just ate up like half the corner. You know, like
Sure.
That
And
was
then
all
when you
set up.
and when you moved out, you just left it there.
The
I ain't
side
moving.
speakers are
I'm
like,
not moving this thing.
like 6 inches thick, but when you open it, there's only like one driver in there.
We used to find them like in dumpsters behind strip malls, not even inside the dumpster though, like next to it because they were so heavy.
They're too heavy
Yeah.
to move.
And you could take the front screen off of them and make like heat rays out of them. Did you guys ever do this?
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh! So when we were kids, so you ripped the front screen off because it was like a
You're
magnifying
talking
glass,
about yeah, big screen TVs,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then you would put them in front of the sun, and you could create like death rays on like
Oh god.
ants or whatever. But I'm talking like so hot. I'm talking like boiling water hot.
Yeah, a whole TV screen sounds like you guys are going at squirrels and ants.
Yeah, I mean, I remember melting everything. Like,
Wouldn't magnifying glass do the same?
no, it's not as big. Like, I mean,
You
the
get the
surface
full
area on
screen.
this thing is whatever 30 something inches. So then you would get like you'd set it over like 2 shopping carts. You know what I mean? And then wherever it would focal the light onto the parking lot, and it would like heat up
Like
the
burn the
blacktop.
concrete,
Oh, it
yeah.
was so sweet. We were real poor. 505-246. What's the poorest thing you ever did? Also, whenever we get back from the break, the All-Star game has started. We'll give you updates throughout. Big news in the world of the NFL as well. So we'll hit on this. The most underutilized, underproductive, but big mouth wide receiver is asking to play football in another city. We'll tell you who it is and where they want to leave whenever we get back. It's 2 Men On live from Dirty's Golf Shop, where he has a flat screen TV, and I bet it didn't cost $45,000 or
It
whatever.
did not.
95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. The All-Star game is starting, and it's a full house here on Two Men On. We're live at Dirty's Golf Shop, 1439 San Mateo Boulevard. Stop by. It's a skate culture with a golf vibe. It's like a golf culture with a skate problem. It's cool stuff. It's cool stuff. I'm not a good golfer, but I look good now. I like that.
Best merch in the golf game, baby. Get down here.
Max Machado's with us. Jay Choi is with us. They're dudes. They help Van on the weekends with get in the holes.
You know how many times I've picked out like a super cool outfit or something that I really liked out of Dick's Sporting Goods, and then I got home and saw like Nike Golf on the tag. I was like, this is a golf shirt. Well, I'm gonna treat it like a workout shirt. But there's some super cool like golf merch. I've noticed some of the best clothes. It'll be like for golf, and I'll just find a way to make multiple uses out of it.
Max, would you say Dirties makes golf for the culture?
That's such a great, succinct description of what we do.
We're for the culture, by the culture.
Synced description.
That's right.
I'm into it.
I could see Isaiah in just about anything here in this shop.
Yeah, man. We got the big sizes too for our homies, for our former football players.
Need me just to post out front with the different outfits on every day for $25 an hour.
Well,
Sign me up.
don't post. I'm not in this neighborhood. People drive by. They say, "What's going on here? This guy's not enjoying delicious Italian subs." What's the name of the sub shop right here?
Next door, Tully's, man.
That place is so good.
Oh, it's a New Mexico staple, bro.
It's pretty sweet.
Oh, they've been here forever. That's how I kind of like explain to people like where we're located.
Yeah.
You know what Tully's is? Oh yeah, dude. This is an Italian deli right next door.
It looks like teriyaki chicken bowl logo.
A little bit.
Dude, you're not wrong.
Isaiah, how do you feel about Italian?
I like Italian.
I
food.
see what you did there.
Interesting. Okay.
So,
I like Italian food.
The 49ers wide receiver Brandon Ayuk has requested a trade out of San Francisco. That's not going to happen.
He's under contract. The Niners don't play those games.
Mm.
This is the San Francisco 49ers we're talking about.
What are they going to do? Are they going to tweet, "We officially deny"? Like, what?
They've already said that out
how do
loud.
you
They have
how
no
do you
plans to
request?
trade him whatsoever.
They're like, nah.
How do you request? Just go up to your coach and say, "Hey, I want to get out of here." Is that how it works?
Well, nowadays,
Let
you
me
just
let me
tweet
run
it.
you through this, Jay. This is how it went down. He's under contract this season, already getting paid the same contract that has his signature on it, and he goes into the general manager and owner's offices and said, "Hey, can we have a sit down real quick, guys? I want a bunch of more money. Even though I'm under contract, I want you to give me as much money as anyone else makes in the NFL. And if you don't give it to me, I want to be traded."
All right.
But
How many years left?
And then on
in
the
his
other side of the
contract?
table, they said no.
He's on, I believe this is his 5th-year option. That's my understanding. So this is his last one, but he doesn't even do it. Like, it's like, and there's only a handful of agencies now. It's not like it used to be, but like one of them goes in, but they do it like this. So they're like, "Hey, heads up, we represent Brandon Ayuk. He wants to make some more money, or you're gonna have to trade him. By the way, if you don't work with us well on this one, we also are the agents of these
players.
6 other guys, and we're really gonna screw with you then. So figure it out by paying them, or figure it out by trading them." And this does work with some teams. It does not work with the 49ers.
No. People
Like-
take hometown discounts to stay with the 49ers all the time. Like you see it with Debo. You saw it. I mean, Brock Purdy's going to sign a discount. Christian McCaffrey is the highest paid running back in NFL, still cheap for what he provides to the 49ers.
Yeah, it's kind of a interesting game. I saw an interview with JJ Redick the other day, and they were like, "Hey, what's the big?" This is the NBA, obviously not NFL, but they were like, "Hey, what's the big surprise to you as a head coach now in the NBA?" And he goes, "I talk to agents all day, every day," and he was like, "I didn't realize it was this much." And the NFL is the exact same story. Like, if it's not the head coach or it's the GM or whoever, they are ready for this weird disturbance. They had 25 plans in place. If he did it today, tomorrow, the next day, or fill in the blank, he's going to end up staying there.
What's the average retirement age for football players?
So
33.
Is it 33? Okay, so
younger,
Not
you
to
do
random.
get
in
good
any
11
other
years.
sport.
That was a random guess.
and that's way too
Oh,
old.
It's way
okay.
too old.
Yeah, so the average NFL player
I bet it's
doesn't
27
play
or
2
something.
full
Yes.
seasons.
It
I
is.
think
Yeah.
27 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so the average NFL player does not complete 2 full seasons. Now, there are exceptions to all these things. Guys who play 20 years, you're very familiar with them. But there's a lot of guys that play one game. So you got to be like wildly familiar with that. With that said, the NFL is real sneaky because I think the number, it used to be 32, so it's probably 34 now with 17-game seasons. But it used to be if you would play 2 seasons worth of games, you would then qualify for the NFLPA pension.
Okay.
So the NFL was very aware of this. So unless you had a guy that you knew was going to play more, like a high round draft pick or someone who really produced, they don't let dudes play 2 full seasons. Like you could have juice in you. You could be ready to go, and they won't put you on a practice squad because they don't want to pay into your pension for the rest of your life.
It's 27.6 is a number.
Okay, I was like 27. So when a player is like that, I'm trying to see from players' point of view. They don't know how many years they got left. I mean, if he's already over 27, he's already beyond what average is.
Yeah, and also depends on the position.
Yeah, so I'm just like, okay, I think on his point of view, it's like, okay, I might have a year left. I might have to take the extra M's whoever gives me might motivate him to jump on that instead of lower.
Oh, I agree with him.
If you make it to your second contract in the NFL, you're the exception, not the rule.
You made it at that point. That's
golf.
That's
there's a lot of loyal players, right? Because it's lifetime sport. So, like for example, Tyler's golf balls, they support junior golfers so they can use the rest of their lives, right?
Sure.
It's a loyal thing.
Yeah.
But in football, I don't see there's not much loyal unless you have a team that you have set in your mind that you're going to play for.
And yeah, a big reason for NFL players is a lot of times the reverse loyalty. Like it was a big thing, like 5-6 years ago. It became a huge trend where the players were like, "Where's our loyalty?" And it was a whole big deal. Really, LeBron started that whole thing, and it rocked through all sports. But NFL players, the teams can cut them at any time. So whereas a player has to play their full contract out, a team can decide we don't want you anymore and just release you.
Well, the thing Isaiah is saying is incredibly accurate to 1.5 seasons ago. And then Deshaun Watson redoes the whole thing with guaranteed contracts. And now everyone's trying to catch that come May lately approach. And that's what happens. Like Isaiah was saying, I think he said 5 years with LeBron, but it's every handful of years, there's a new trend in how to sign. So Tom Brady did it for a long time where it was Tom Brady took a ton of money up front and like a bonus, and that didn't go against the cap. And then he had a low yearly salary, but then both parties would opt out in the second year and they'd redo it again. So he'd get a big bonus at the beginning of the year that didn't count against his salary. And other teams tried to emulate that for a long time, but then the player wouldn't opt out and then have to get cut. It'd be a whole thing. But there's not a solidified approach to what works. This seems a lot like the Debo approach, though. This seems a lot like what Samuel did, and he ended up getting paid. So maybe it works out.
I've got one thing. If it's the last year on his contract, why, and he's not happy, why wouldn't you try to get something for him as opposed to just letting him walk?
Smart. Exactly.
Production on the field.
Yeah.
Because they were so close to the Super Bowl last year.
They want to win.
Yeah. That would be the one, in my opinion.
But what you're saying is the main reason why players, it's why their agents allow them to come out publicly and say, hey, I want to leave. Because if you're telling a team look, I'm not re-signing next year, then it's okay, well, we might as well trade him. Because some teams will be reluctant, we don't want to trade you. And it's okay, well, trade me, you're getting nothing. That's why Cleveland was so mad at LeBron, because he waited until free agency to leave, whereas he could have told them and they could have traded and literally got an entire team for LeBron, but he just left them with nothing.
Well, and also just be really clear on this one too. They don't necessarily only get nothing. So you get draft compensation when your free agents leave. So you could be out, but you're not out.
Sure.
Can he trade or you can't sell him? You have to trade him for other players, right?
Yeah, that's a little leaning toward it.
Yeah. Well, they say that in soccer, though. To be fair, they talk about buying and selling players.
And a lesser organization would probably buckle to his demands.
Yes.
Either give him a giant contract or trade him to somebody for resources. But this is the Niners. They could just reload and get somebody else.
And what they'll do is they'll get what's called a qualifying offer. So a qualifying offer, and this is off the top of my head, so don't quote me on any of this, but a qualifying offer is the average of the top 10 at that position.
Yeah.
And then so that puts you as the number 5 or 6 overall high paid guy, which is really good. Which
It's
is
like
not
a franchise tag, right?
That's different though, because that's top
Okay.
5. So
Oh.
that puts you at like number 3 overall, which is really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if you get a qualifying offer from a team, which the 49ers will do with Brandon Ayuk next year, then if like a team that does have a ton of money, fill in the blank, if they sign him for something that the 49ers don't want to financially or any other reason match, that's when they hit the compensatory. And then that it kind of ranges on what the offer is or where the guy was drafted and production on the field. It's actually kind of stupid.
Got it.
Unless you know everything about it. And if you know everything about it, you work in the front office of an NFL.
So in football, there's no selling of players like soccer. You can't like middle of a contract said.
Kind of there is with draft picks.
Okay.
So kind of you can ship a guy and his cost, or you can ship a guy and keep his cost and get a higher return of a draft pick. But that's why what you're talking about exists in soccer. It exists in Major League Baseball.
Oh yeah, like
hockey.
baseball too. You could do
Yeah.
You can sell this
Yeah.
amount of players
Cash
for,
considerations is what they call it.
Yeah.
They just pay you to take them.
Yeah.
I would imagine across all these sports, is that the biggest for guaranteed money? Is it like I would imagine
baseball.
so because of the risk?
Yeah.
Wow. So baseball players demand guaranteed more than football players.
Their PA is better.
Right.
They have the best one. Well, maybe the NBA does because they get 51% of revenues. 49, 59. They get one of the two. I don't remember. 51.
Wow.
I think owners are 51, players are 49.
Yeah. So I mean, they get a ton of that. So with like that, what was that? $7 billion a year deal over the next 10 years or
Yeah.
whatever they just signed. So they get $3.5 billion to do every player.
and it's spread out amongst less athletes in the NBA.
Lot
You got
less.
12 to 15 guys you have to pay on your team instead of 53
Okay.
in the NFL.
Okay, so a better way to ask the question. So say on average, say a guy makes $5 million contract.
Okay.
And say $3 million is guaranteed. Now if you were to take that, now say that's NFL, now if it was baseball and it's a $5 million contract, are you saying they would usually ask for more than $3 million guaranteed, or like that percentage wise? Is it higher?
Yeah, great question. All of baseball would be guaranteed. And so that's why you get like guys like Bobby Bonilla, who've been getting paid for like 30 seasons, even though they haven't been playing for the last 25 seasons. And then you get like in football, the guaranteed money is the money you get up front.
Mhm.
So any check that you already cash, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But then the rest of it, maybe
Don't get hurt.
Yeah, maybe. So
Oh, that's weird. So
Yeah,
there's
that's
a
what I was
guarantee
trying to
amount
see.
and there's a contracted amount.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
I'm telling you. And there are guys, you have to go to agent school and stuff. Like they have like certificates for this stuff. I know a handful of like quote unquote junior agents, which work for like big agencies like the Steinberg agency, and they get percents on handling everything, but they don't have the license. So that all goes through like Lee Steinberg. And then it's all kind of a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, it's very much so.
And like Jay, another example, Jay, it's like what Dak did. Like in his case, he came off a really bad injury, like his leg snapped in half.
Okay.
And that was on his contract year. So when he demanded his new contract, he made Dallas pay him like 80% of it up front. So like he basically was like, I'm gonna make sure I get a big portion of this because I've already seen that things can happen. So I want to make sure I have money locked down.
Well, and then you end up in another part of that conversation, which is you can prove lost income based on injuries, and then you can take out insurance against yourself, and the team can take out insurance against you. So then you end up in like a double dipping situation where if Dak breaks his leg again, Dak has a personal insurance against lost future income. And then, like, I'll give you an example. He would easily.
They don't have that golf in that. They don't have.
No.
You're an independent contractor.
Yeah.
Like pro wrestling.
And
You gotta win.
but with AIG. But that was a very rare case. They don't like. I went to State Farm to check it out. They said no.
And then we're good. Whenever we get back from the break, we'll give you the updates on the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Also, I found a super fun list of where every single of the major organizations get their revenues from, and we'll talk about that too. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. welcome back to Two Men On. We're live from Dirty's Golf Shop. Paul Skeens got through the first inning for the National League All-Star team. He threw 16 pitches, which, boys, is a more on Prize Picks.
Attaboy.
Let's go, 15.5. We called it. Also, Sabrina, what's the update, Isaiah?
She's at 21, so the taco/discount is complete.
All right, so we are waiting for a little bit of we're waiting for Reese, Carter, and Wilson in the WNBA, and then we need Mason Miller to top 102, and that's going to be very good. Also, Corbin Burns, 0 strikeouts in the first inning, so we got that one correct as well.
Yep.
So take that, and then we're obviously on the guys who haven't pitched yet. We're also sitting very good. So it has been a good start to our Prize Picks. It's been a good start to the All-Star game. And Paul Skeens, in the words of Max Machado, was afraid to throw cheddar out there.
I mean, it was sub 100 for the most part.
Yeah. He only hit 103 times, never hit 101.
Coward, really.
Who is this guy? What is all this hype about?
He let down America, the way I see it. Also, we were talking a little bit earlier about Sabrina having the discounted 14.5 on Prize Picks. The taco of Asia Wilson did come out. So if you want to jump back on there, 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I took the more on that. That is for the 8 o'clock start tonight. I also took Angel Reese less than 13 rebounds. It is hard to get 13 rebounds. So there you go.
Not for her. She set a WNBA record for double-doubles.
It broke. It snapped.
Yeah, snapped. But she did it.
We're at Dirty's Golf Shop where you can get apparel and get your clubs done. How many clubs you got in the building here, Max?
Oh, dude. You know, I don't know. It's a lot. It keeps stacking up.
I would say it's in the hundreds. I don't know how many hundreds.
We don't have like walls and walls of clubs, but what we do have is also good too. You know what I mean? Like
no, I don't golf.
Well, like a lot of used places have like everything.
Yeah,
quality over quantity.
Yeah, we have. There you go, my dude. Exactly.
Also, some little baby clubs here for the little starter kiddos.
Little babers?
We got something
Yes,
for
little kiddo
everybody.
clubs.
I do need to boost our left-handed selection.
No, they know it's hard out there.
They do.
It's fine. Let 'em do it.
Question.
Yep.
Does Prize Pick line change if you by the days or time? You know how like bookies line changes?
That is correct. It does.
Yes.
Yes, it does.
So I
Very
gotta
much so.
So
pick
if
it
you
under-
really like it, lock it in now and don't wait.
okay, like I like this John Daly 0.5 birdies or better. I'm like, he's gonna make one birdie.
You're gonna make one birdie, right? You're gonna make one.
Just a shoulder shrug, says Jay. Here's how the 4 big U.S. sports leagues make their money. Are you boys ready for this?
Let's go.
66% of the $18.7 billion that the NFL brought in last year came from national TV. Compare that to just 25% of the $10.9 billion that Major League Baseball brought in. Compare that to 40% of what the NBA brought in and the $10.9 billion, and compare that to less than 20% for what the NHL brought in at $6.8 billion. The NFL is 3 times the NHL. The NFL made 3 times the money that the NHL made.
I would have guessed it'd be more.
Same.
Thanks, Taylor.
Yeah, that's the one.
How many people fit in link?
15,000.
That many?
Yeah.
In
yeah.
in the hockey?
Yep.
Yeah.
15,000. I didn't know that. I thought maybe.
NBA and hockey's like real similar.
They play in the same stadium in a lot
Often.
of cities.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Clippers.
the NBA, I think you can charge more. I think people are willing to pay more for the NBA.
Yes.
It's a closer experience in the NBA.
You can see their faces.
That's a big part. You know, I would say that's the biggest issue with hockey is you don't know what anyone looks like. Like I
I
you
have
go
a
there to watch
guess.
Fight, right?
yeah.
I thought you go there to watch fight.
That too. There's usually about one a game, so that's pretty sweet.
Isn't a
Over,
rule
under.
like until you're down, you're allowed to hit each other as many times as you can, or something? Like
It's kind of a rule what you're saying, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Right.
you can play if you consider a physical of a baseline 0, you can play +1 physical if the game's tied. Once you're chasing more than 2, you cannot. Like that's when it's got to be finessey, it's got to be the whole thing, and vice versa. Those guys know it's a long season. Like, and they all know each other. It's like kind of like the NBA. They're all best friends.
Who's
Like-
buddy that came in and got in like 3 fights in 3 straight games and lost all of them? This was
Oh,
about a month
lost
ago.
all of them when
Well,
I'll
so,
do the research.
Sidney Crosby always has a guy that does that for him because
Yeah.
like he used to fight when he was young, and they were like, "Please stop doing that."
Hey, You're like an MVP candidate every year.
We will pay.
Please don't do that.
We'll pay anyone to do that for you.
And it's not just him and his team. Every team has one.
Yeah,
every single team has a guy.
Enforcer.
Got him at the end of the bench. Like
Wayne Gretzky had one with multiple teams. It was the same guy, Marty McSorley.
Brought him in with him.
Yeah, well, he would. You signed Wayne, you got Marty, and he would. They knew once he got on the ice, like if you hit Wayne when he was doing a thing or whatever, Marty was going to come on and he was going to fight you, and you were going to lose.
Okay, so it's Matt Rempe. He was a rookie, and he came in and got in 3 fights in his first 5 games.
What team?
He is on the Oilers? No, Rangers.
Sounds like a guess.
Rangers.
Okay.
Rangers.
Yeah, I don't know enough about hockey teams and who's good. If Mark Messier is still with the Rangers, I wouldn't know. But they're not the ones. Also, we are mid-second inning, still zeros in the All-Star game. We'll go to break. We will come back. 1 hit in this one thus far, and all of our prize picks are looking very healthy, boys. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Mike's hot.
We have never wrapped up a day with an Isham Dental soundbite, so this is kind of fun.
All right.
We had so much fun with the All-Star game. Not that it slipped our mind.
Yeah.
505-881-0422, ishamdentalabq.com. It's our Isham Dental soundbite of the day. Isaiah, so I sent it over to you. It is, I don't know how to say this. My favorite thing in the world, whenever an individual presents like something they don't know is a fact.
Mm-hmm.
And Derek Jeter caught Colin Cowherd doing that repeatedly yesterday. So here it is, our Isham Dental soundbite of the day.
The Paul Skeens, Pittsburgh Pirates, dominant guy, overpowering. You faced, obviously, you were in the Nolan Ryan era. But
No,
he wasn't.
Slow down. No, I was way after Nolan.
Okay, way after Nolan. Okay.
Oh, okay.
You sure
So
about
he's
that?
a liar.
Can't laugh this one off, Colin.
He goes, hey, heads up. Nolan Ryan retired in 93. Derek Jeter came up in 95. Those are very different. Those are incredibly different years.
I would have assumed the spread would be further than that. Not just a couple years, like 10. Yes.
Yeah, but how long did Nolan Ryan pitch for?
Bleeping forever.
Forever.
Forever, but still.
Well, if you're talking about prime, he definitely missed the prime years.
Yes,
but
he did throw a no-hitter when he was like 42 or something.
Against who?
Major League Baseball.
Oh,
players.
yeah, good point. Yeah. It was the strike season of 94. No, he retired in 93.
What if Derek would have just been like, "What's funny, Colin? Why are you laughing?"
Yeah, tell me what you know, and I'll tell you why you're wrong. There is something funny about the world of sports when people will present like a perception as a factual. Like that, stop that.
Especially something you don't know anything about.
No. Big double play up the middle. Not turned, though, by the Nationals as it was a breakup play by the American League. That's
sliding in hard, Pete Rose style.
I'm glad these are you guys' pet peeves. That's why when it comes to golf, I usually sit back and listen. I don't like to.
You don't want to
stay
correct
in my
everyone.
lane. Yeah, I'd stay in my lane. I'll Google my golf terms.
You know where it's real big is in exactly what Isaiah is talking about, where like a guy will be talking about golf and be like, yeah, I remember this shot at this hole at this course. And you're like, that year that wasn't played there.
Yeah, sure.
You're like, that's not the one, brother.
Yeah, it was Torrey Pines that year. Yeah.
Tiger
was actually hurt that year.
Yeah.
They didn't even play.
Remember
I think
Masters?
we all should have.
Remember the Masters at the Olympic Club?
Yeah.
We all should have had a moment that just was so embarrassing and made us never do that again. Like I was probably fifth grade, and they were talking about South Park, and I knew I wasn't even allowed to watch South Park yet. And everyone at school was talking about an episode.
You're black?
Nah, it's because I was 12.
Oh, okay.
That's why I wasn't able to watch South Park.
Similar.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah.
But they were all talking about an episode, and then they could tell that I didn't know what I was talking about, and they're like, "Yeah, Isaiah, remember that episode when so and so happened, and he went here, and this happened?" I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "Yeah, that never happened."
That's still with you.
Yeah, it
To this
still
day.
sticks with me. I'll never go out of my lane and try to lie about something like that ever again.
In my case, I couldn't lie because I didn't have cable TV to watch South Park.
Wow.
Huh?
Well, we could have said anything to you.
Yeah.
And yeah, sure. Sure, yeah, that happened.
They had no way to fact check.
Jay, can you believe the way they introduced that Asian character? And you're like, yeah, my people were really upset. They're like, no, you idiot. We did not.
I know character. There's one Asian, like older man though, right?
There
Yeah,
is.
Black hair.
Yeah, he owns the City Walk.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I know there's
Walk.
one Asian character
Shitty
in
Walk.
South Park.
Not well
And Kenny dies
represented.
every
No,
episode.
there's
right?
more. There's more. It's in the whale episode, but
Oh,
That's a wild part. The one that I always see in pro wrestling is the way people claim to have been at a thing. Like a big event will happen, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I was there. Yeah, there was 60,000 people in the Silver Dome." And you're like, that place holds 25." Like there's no way what you're saying is a thing.
Also, they sell shirts that say "I was there" to every event.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, literally every event. Where's your "I was there" shirt?
I have my Survivor Series one when CM Punk debuted, and people are like, "But were you there?" I have the shirt.
Mhm.
Yes, I was there. I bought it. People will just roll over stuff. Also, I imagine for a guy like Colin Cowherd, who's had like the chops for so many years, that no one's going to say like an argument to him. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, roll the segment. Who
Sure.
cares?
But it's Jeter.
No, not Jeter.
Yeah, not Jeter.
He
It's
had
like,
it.
dude, I'm Derek. Don't lie to Derek Jeter
No.
about him to his face.
Isaiah,
Like,
cut off Derek Jeter's no. We just need it.
yeah,
We need it on this
they do
show.
that often.
Coward had a little tinge in his voice that was like, "Are you sure? You
Yeah.
sure you didn't play with Nolan Ryan?"
Not
Starts
even
laughing. Oh, Derek. Oh, Derek.
And there's a way to ask that question, right? So it's the way you ask it is like, hey, when you first came in the league, what was the mystique around what he had done? You know, you just ask it that way. Because there are guys who have been in the guys he played with, Paul O'Neill, guys he played with that were there forever that could be like, oh, it was this, that, the other thing. And he could relay those stories. Like, don't put a guy in a situation he's never been in. Like,
Or he's got a whole team around him. Have somebody fact check. You could have easily replaced him with Randy Johnson. The same vibes, the same intimidation. You could have got the right guy for the question.
I don't even know.
That'd have been way easier.
I don't even know the whole like premise of the interview. But if you wanted to get like a really fun insight one, be like, hey, did you and Mariano really go at it in practice ever? You know, did he really try to put 3 across the plate on you? You know, and then he can tell a story of when he got bested or he got the best of. You know, that's
Derek's
fun radio.
Derek's hot-headed, isn't he? I'm sure he charged him out a few times.
Oh man, I bet he is.
He gives me hothead vibes
because he's the best to ever do it, man. You're the shortstop for the New York Yankees, the sexiest job in professional sports, and he had it uncontested for 20 years.
It never sucked.
Never.
Yeah. Was never the MVP and was never the worst.
His name was the captain.
Yeah.
That's kind of true, huh?
Yeah.
Like A-Rod got more attention than he did,
Yeah.
but overall, though, he's the actual. Yeah.
Colin goes off air after that one and is like, I could have swore he played with Nolan. I did.
I don't think he talks to the staff.
He did play. He did.
Seems like the type, right?
He seems angry. He does.
Hey, did you have a ground rule double on your score sheet?
Did they get one?
Oh, they didn't give it to him. It looked like one to me.
Yeah, the All-Star game.
Oh,
they're going to end up turning that. That's so funny. So there was a one up the middle. It was off. Who's playing second base, man?
I can't tell. I don't know if
couldn't
they replaced him already.
So Simeon's at second, and he plays one off the inner part of his foot, and it goes, I don't know, 20 feet in the air. And then shortstop comes over, but they can't cover the base in time. It would have been low-key like an all-time highlight play if they
It would
had
have
got
been
him.
sweet.
But and that's what you get here in the All-Star game, just some fun stuff. I think he would have fielded if he wasn't wearing that ugly jersey.
Yeah, if Gunnar Henderson would have went straight to second, they would have had the out. But your inclination is always go to first when something gets booted.
Yeah, and that's an error for those who care about that via prize pick.
Sure. Yeah, there was an error today.
Don't count that
there
as a hit.
There's a man.
Yep.
2 on for Shohei Ohtani.
This would be good radio.
Top of the third, and afraid to go at Ohtani is Huick, and that
we gotta get this at bat on there.
This is the greenest green light you've ever seen in the history of the All-Star game.
2-0.
Let this bleed out. Let this bleed out.
He is going to swing
Huick
out of his
rears
cleats.
back. It's over the
Bye-bye.
That
was
Adios.
on
Shohei.
you.
That's how we finish a program here.
Wow, that's
Jay Choi, Max Machado, thank you so very much. Van, final words.
Too much of the time allotted, my friend. Anything we didn't cover, check out tomorrow morning on the opening drive with Jeff and JJ.
Good job, everyone. Keep breathing.
See you tomorrow, Burke.